It's the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots.
What an absolutely gorgeous afternoon in New England. The temperature is 40 degrees, just a little bit of a wind, and the forecast sunny skies for this afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones, along with Merlin Olsen. We have the Buffalo Bills. Their record is 7-3. Well on their way to the playoffs. The New England Patriots, their record is 3-7. How in the world do the Buffalo Bills get up for a game like this?
Charlie, I think this is the greatest challenge for a coach that there is, getting ready for a team that not only has had difficulty playing, but they are decimated by injury. And earlier in the season, the Bills won in the game in Buffalo, 31-10. So looking at the films, the players unconsciously turn off. They say, hey, this is not going to be a great game. We just have to go over there and show up, and we can win.
And what does Marv Levy tell his boys?
Well, he talks to them about how Buffalo players responded, how they responded to the loss of Jim Kelly. He said, do you expect New England's players to respond any less aggressively to the injuries that they have suffered?
And what about the New England Patriots? Do they have any chance at all?
They really need some help from Buffalo today. And in last week's games for these two teams, the turnovers played a big role, Charlie. In fact, in the Buffalo game, they picked up 3 turnovers. They got 13 quick points in that game against Indianapolis. And in New England's game, they gave the ball away 3 times. That score was 21-0 New Orleans before they even got rolling. So they need some turnovers, and they need a big day from John Stevens. John Stevens has to help them control the football today. Stevens, who's been suffering from injuries early in the year, has a hip pointer, which he suffered last week, but he says he is ready to play today. It's been a big week for Raymond Berry, not only fighting the injury problems, but he also admitted to his players they were out of the playoff picture on Monday. And then later in the week, with Dick Steinberg, their player personnel director, out of town, Michael Timpson, a wide receiver, kickoff man, went down on Wednesday. Stanley Morgan, a great wide receiver, went down on Thursday. So Berry has had to fill those 2 positions. He has had a very, very difficult week.
Well, the New England Patriots will have the first opportunity. They won the toss, and they elected to receive. Now the question becomes, what about the return men for the New England Patriots? In the last couple of weeks, they have lost all of their return men. And so, number 49, Kittrick Taylor, and number 21, Errol Tucker. And therein lies the story. When these last 2 teams met, Errol Tucker was a return man.
I talked to
for
Tucker.
The Buffalo Bills. Wait a minute. Let me
Go
put
ahead,
it for
Charlie.
the Buffalo Bills. He had a different colored jersey, and you talked to him.
I talked to him about those uniforms. I said, it's going to be difficult. He said, these are the same colors, but he said, it's a different setup. And he said, when I look across the field, I'm going to see all my friends, my family over there. He said, it's going to take me a little while to adjust to wearing this New England uniform.
And Scott Norwood will be kicking off.
Norwood is having trouble with the wind, Charlie. I think he's going to have somebody put a finger on that ball. It would not stay on the tee. Norwood puts see how he cocks the football? He tips it way off to its side, and with any kind of breeze at all, it will blow off. The breezes for both of these teams much stronger last week than they are today. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour here last week for New England's game.
And Dwight Green is the holder for the kickoff. Taken in the end zone by Tucker, and he will down it, will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. And already pushing and shoving. Will hold the lineups just a moment. Now maybe this is a way you get motivated.
Well, it's Tucker right in the middle of it saying hello to his Buffalo friends. I don't think he was the man who started the row, however.
So we'll hold the lineups for you just a moment. We want to get right to see if anything extraordinary happened. Usually it's just an exchange of pleasantries, but this can motivate you immediately.
Well, there's no question there will be a lot of emotion on the New England side. If they're going to win today, they will have to be emotional.
Steve Grogan, the quarterback. The Patriots open on the ground with Robert Perryman carrying, and he has 3 yards to the 23. New England has an offensive line that is really playing well together, and they need to be. The reason? Their receiving core has been decimated by injuries. On passing downs, the running backs, John Stevens and the tight end, will come out. Eric Sievers becomes the H-back, and Glenn Antrim becomes the third wide receiver. And we have an injury, Merlin.
Charlie, there's somebody down on the field, and the trainers have gone out to check on him. Can't quite see who it is. We know it's not Talley. We know it's not Shane Conlon. Is it Cornelius Bennett? Yes, that's who it is, number 55. He's up on his feet and walking. With Cornelius Bennett, an anchor on that left-hand side. Would certainly be a blow to lose him, although he appears to be coming off rather comfortably under his own power.
Second down and 6.
They mark it just outside the 23-yard line, so it will be second down and 6. Officially, you go always to the next marker, the next hash mark. To the 28-yard line, has 4. It's going to be third down and still a couple. Let's look at that Buffalo defense featuring an extremely talented front 7. On passing downs early in the game, Shane Conlon and Ray Bentley will come out. Mickey Sutton and John Hagee come in. But if Shane Conlon has his way, then he'll stay in, and Mickey Sutton will replace Darrell Talley. And they will join a solid secondary that is particularly strong at the safeties. Third down and 2.
And they're in the shotgun. Interesting call.
Rogan has plenty of time, but knocked down at the line.
Art Still, number 72. Those big, long arms of Art Still reaching up at 6'7", 265 pounds. He just got up there and swatted it down. Watch on the right-hand side of your screen. Number 67 moving in right there. 2 players blocking him, and he's nowhere near the ball. But you see the hand up and bats the ball away. As good as a sack.
So Jeff Feagles, with a 39.1-yard average, will be kicking to Mickey Sutton.
Sutton looking right into the sun, Charlie.
Pretty good kick. Sutton takes it at the 26.
Good block.
And he returns to the 40-yard line. Buffalo's offense. The Bills' offensive line really took charge during Jim Kelly's 3-game absence. But Kelly is back. The Bills, however, they still continue to run the ball, featuring both Larry Kennebrew and Thurman Thomas. When they go to 3 wide receivers, Kennebrew and the tight end Pete Metzelaars come out. Ronnie Harmon comes into the backfield, and Don Beebe becomes the 3rd wide receiver.
Quick report, Charlie. Cornelius Bennett, twisted knee, will return to the game.
Good news for Buffalo as they move on offense from their own 40-yard line. And they open on the ground with Thurman Thomas carrying. A couple of yards to the 42, second down and 8. New England's defense, they feature a front 7 that has become the strongest part of the team. On passing downs, the nose tackle and 2 inside linebackers come out. Gary Jeter becomes a pass rusher. Errol Tucker and Howard Fagans join a secondary that will again be without Raymond Claiborne, who is still bothered by a thigh injury. Second down and 8. Early in the ball game, we have no score.
Major shift, Buffalo. 4 players shifting. Boy, look at New England trying to get back in. They're offsides.
And Kennebrew is nailed for a loss to the 36. He'll lose 5.
When you try and flip-flop with that many people, you run the risk of being caught trying to move that whole defense. Now watch Buffalo. They're going to move tight ends back and forth across the field. They shift the backfield. Watch New England. Once they've made the call, they're going to try and flip-flop as well. They're late in doing it, and it's Tim Goad, number 72, who is trying to move across and get into position that jumps off sides. And that's exactly what Buffalo is trying to do, create confusion with the flip-flop, take advantage of what New England is doing.
Meanwhile, there was a flag on a play, the penalty against New England, and the ball is placed at the 47-yard line. The down goes over, and it'll be second down and around 2.5. Well, officially 3, second and 3. And the Patriot defense rising to the occasion as Thurman Thomas is brought down by Maurice Hurst.
Thing you'd always like to do with a great running back, and Thomas has become a great running back. In fact, Charlie, I think Thurman Thomas right at this moment is the most effective running back in the league if you consider both run and pass. He is just having a great year, accounting for 34% of the Buffalo offense.
And also a very dapper dresser. When we talked to him last night, he had a great black leather hat on. I was trying to get it away from him. Never could.
Look out, there he goes.
Got the first down and more. 40-yard line of New England, a gain of 13. Roland James with the tackle.
Well, we talked about how dapper he looked with his black hat on. I'm sure that in the films he'll be congratulated for the way he looks on this play. Excellent blocking up front right there. Good job as they just drive across on the inside. Thurman Thomas doing a great job. That was Wolford getting that trap block.
You saw his rushing yardage, that plus his receiving yardage, more than 1,300, leading the NFL in combined yardage. And it's a first down at the 40. Kelly to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. Excellent coverage of the secondary for New England. Everybody had a blanket over them.
Well, the one thing that has not been damaged, at least not since the early part of the season. This Buffalo defense has been playing together since the early part of the season. They've had a lot of shuffling going on at the cornerback positions, but that front seven has remained rather constant, and they've been constant at the safety positions. At least they're healthy again at those safety positions, and that's a big help, Charlie.
Second down and 10, no score. 10:48 time remaining first quarter. And Kennebrew the ball carrier. He's got just a couple to the 38. It'll be third down and 8. And the New England Patriot defense has already answered the question, how do you get motivated, at least from their side? They're playing excellent football.
They have to, Charlie. They really need to have a big day today. One of the things the Buffalo Bills have done extremely well, if you divide their season, and that 5 games brings them up to Kelly's injury. Look how much they have run the football in the last 5 games. They have controlled the line of scrimmage. And believe me, if they can do it today, you'll see numbers like that today.
Lonnie Harmon is in the backfield. And he comes back to block the pass.
Great
complete.
catch.
An outstanding reception by Andre Reed for 8 yards. It's right at the marker. I think they'll give him 9, and it'll go to the 29-yard line.
We talked to Andre Reed yesterday. He said something that I happen to believe thoroughly. He said, it's the little things that really make the difference in pass catching and in football. And a lot of times that's in the way you run a pattern, just the angles, the way you cut it, the way you read the defense. He finds that opening in the zone right there. Maurice Hurst late getting there. Good job. Fine job.
Good for 9 yards and the first down. And again, here is the multiple shift by the Buffalo Bills. And Thomas carries. He has 4 to the 25. It'll be second down and 6. Possibly you get Buffalo motivated by changing the offense, by adding some wrinkles, by adding some shifts, making them think more about what they have to do rather than coming out and just going through the motion.
Well, I don't think, you know, this is a Buffalo team. Charlie, I think when you play a team twice a year, you play them home and home, you have enough respect for them that you're not going to, at least on the outside, you don't take them lightly. I think very often it's the unconscious part of you that doesn't want to get ready for the game, that puts you to sleep, lulls you to sleep a little bit. But so far, the Bills are showing a fine drive here. They'd like to be able to get a payoff with it.
And the quick handoff over the left guard. Kennebrew the ball carrier. Kennebrew is, you know, 6'2", 256 pounds, brought down by Williams and McGrew. And one of the things that the Patriot defense wants to do is not allow Kennebrew to get up any steam.
You see what Jim Kelly had to say. So I'd like to hand the ball to Larry Kennebrew and watch him run over people. Kennebrew out of football last year. He had a disagreement financially and also with Sam Weich at Cincinnati. and he elected not to play. He worked construction, and I was talking to him in the locker room before the game. I said, what kind of construction? He said, cement work on road construction. Charlie, I've done that. That's about as nasty a job as you can get, but it's a very physical job. I'll tell you the one thing I remember from that, your hands fall apart. They bleed crazily.
An offsides call on Brent Williams and a 5-yard penalty against New England. 2 costly penalties in this drive. And the ball at the 19-yard line.
The one thing you don't want to do when you have injuries is try and do it all by yourself. Very often that will contribute to the mistakes, the anxiety that gets you offside, gets you trying to jump the count.
First down. Kennebrew picks it up. Ed Reynolds with the tackle. So New England has had the opportunity to stop the Buffalo Bills in this drive, but both times they have self-destructed with penalties, and have really been costly. Buffalo opens with a play selection, 7 runs and 2 passes.
Well, we showed you those numbers moments ago. In the last 5 games, running the ball 65% of the time, much higher than that here today. And they run it again. Oh, that's the turf.
Thurman Thomas makes his cut. Did it grab too much?
Charlie, this is an old turf, and the nap has gone off of it. The turf itself is very sticky in spots, but in other places it changes. It's not as sticky. It's a very dangerous turf. In fact, we talked about the 2 injuries earlier in the week. Those injuries on this turf by players running without being hit. Metzlar's 88, a fine block, and there's, boy, if it were not possible for Thomas to keep his feet there, he could have filled in behind Kennebrew and Metzlar's and made about 4 or 5 more yards.
Thomas 21 yards and 5 carries. And a sweep to the left side. Thomas again. And he'll go to the 8-yard line, so he's got 3. It's going to be 3rd down and still a couple to go. Well, let's see what else is happening. Kansas City, Cleveland, no score. Detroit with an early lead. San Diego, Pittsburgh, no score. These are the early games along with ours.
3-yard gain to the 8. 3rd down.
Dallas quickly in front of Miami. Oh, that's interesting for the start. And Minnesota out in front of Philadelphia 6-0. And here, oh, we got a couple others. Tampa Bay, Chicago, no score. And Atlanta with a quick lead. Here we have no score. And just over 6 minutes to go, first quarter.
This has been a very long drive for the Buffalo Bills. Shotgun handoff. First down.
3-yard line. It'll be first down and goal to go. Johnny Rimbert with the tackle.
So even in the obvious passing situations, or what seemed to be an obvious passing situation, out of the shotgun, the Buffalo Bills electing to go with the run. Here it is. Snap to Kelly. Forward handoff to Thurman Thomas. The only back, Joe Devlin. Little push out there. Howard Ballard, 75. Little block inside. Will Wolford blocking up front. Kent Hull. Good job by that offensive line. And Charlie, you said it in the introduction. Since the injury to Kelly, they have really taken charge.
Jamie Mueller has checked into the offensive set. Thomas into the end zone.
There it is.
"60 yards on the drive, but it took them 15 plays. And Thomas goes in from 3 yards out.
Scott Norwood will attempt the conversion. John Kidd is holding.
John Kidd to hold. Scott Norwood to attempt. Ligner the snapper. And the extra point is good. And Buffalo has the early lead, 7-0.
The Bills 4, the Buffalo 7.
As Thurman Thomas goes in from 3 yards out.
of Motor Trend magazine road tested a lot of cars before the Mitsubishi Galant. They road tested a lot of cars after it. But no other car was so well conceived, so well crafted, so thoroughly satisfying to drive. And that is why they marked the occasion in the most significant way they could. They named the Mitsubishi Galant Motor Trend Import Car of the Year.
How to get your package through an Asian jungle. When you send your package to a place like Singapore, only Federal Express gets there with its own planes. Gets it through customs with its own people. Gets it out with its own couriers. And gets it delivered with its own vans. Because in Singapore, while other Air Express companies are making arrangements, we're making deliveries. Federal Express, the best way to ship it over here is now the best way to ship it over there.
Here's the scoring drive, 60 yards officially. It was 12 plays. It took 8 minutes and 10 seconds, Thomas, from 3 yards out. And the Buffalo Bills have the early lead. Norwood will be kicking off. Drain again will hold the ball because of a crosswind that we have here. The return men, Kittrick Taylor, number 49 on the far side, and Errol Tucker, number 21 on the near side. Tucker has it. He's to the 20. Cuts back at the 25 and returns to the 27-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Watch Keith McKellar coming in from the outside, and he becomes a trapper in the inside. Get the play right here. We drive up inside. Watch the blocking now. Trap Tim Goad. And there's Thomas driving his way into the end zone. And watch the play in close-up action. McKellar in motion. Dives inside. Boy, that's a fine block on Goad, and opens the way, really opens the gate right there.
New England's second opportunity on offense. They trail in the game by a score of 7-0. And here is Perryman. He'll have about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 as Bruce Smith makes the tackle.
Perryman having to take a lot more of the responsibility during this year than he did last year with all of the injuries to John Stevens, and has grown tremendously in the process. Has become a much better blocker, has done a fine job of running the football as well.
Defensively, Scott Radisick has replaced Cornelius Bennett, who was injured early in the ball game, and it's 2nd down. And he leans across the 35. They'll mark it right at the 35, a gain of 3. So it's be 3rd down and still a couple to go. Art Still makes the tackle.
Fred Smerlas, one of the grand old men of this game of football, and he gets a kick out of that himself. Said last week, the defense only on the field for 18 minutes. He said, that's great for us old guys. You see him 76 in the middle of your screen there. He said, we don't have to drink nearly as much Geritol when we get home, when we're on the field just a short time.
Eric Sievers comes in, and in the set is the 2nd tight end. He'll also be working as an H-back. He's the Patriots' leading receiver.
Good play backside.
Stevens the ball carrier, and Bruce Smith with the tackle.
If you can't block Bruce Smith on the backside of the play, watch out. He's one of the great pursuit defensive ends in football. Number 78 just closes the door from the backside. You'll see him coming from the left side of your picture. No one, well, Sievers trying to block him there. No one gets enough of him. He just sweeps in from the backside and cuts Stevens down. Tremendous quickness from the big man.
And Jeff Vigos will be kicking to Mickey Sutton. And there is movement.
Well, now the man in the backfield is moving backwards. I'm not so sure if he's the only one moving, if that should be called against him, Charlie. Now, that's motion, technically, and he is moving backwards away from the line of scrimmage. I don't think they should call a penalty if he is the only one moving. Let's see if there's anyone else who is moving. All right, here, let's go back to the play, and we can perhaps see. Here's the man that's going to move right here, and he has a behind the line of scrimmage. Let's see if anyone else moves. He's moving backwards on this play. See him? Oh, we also got a movement from the left-hand side. So I think they're talking about it right now. Yes. Yeah, there was a movement by one of the linemen as well. But if it were only that man standing behind the ball, Charlie, I think that's just pure motion.
5 yards, 4th down. Ball start, 5 yards. And we'll repeat the 4th down.
4th down, 7.
So Jeff Eagles will again be kicking to Mickey Sutton, or still be kicking to Mickey Sutton. Or we'll try to kick to Mickey Sutton.
He had one blocked early in the year, Charlie.
Any of the above has good pressure. And he gets a high floater. Fair catch is called for at the 29-yard line. So Buffalo has the early lead, 7-0 after that 43-yard kick. We'll be back in a moment.
Astronomers tell us there won't be a total eclipse in America until the year 2017. They are very much mistaken. Introducing the Eclipse GS Turbo by Mitsubishi.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Duophone answering machines are the perfect answer for that special Christmas gift. First to introduce quality, affordable answers, Radio Shack has a wide selection for home or home office, to stay in touch on campus, or to fit every business need. Radio Shack has the gift that won't miss a call.
Don't wait up, dear. We'll be back very late.
Duophone answering machines from $59.95, only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
The Mitsubishi Mirage. Buy the special edition Mirage EXE and get air conditioning and AM/FM cassette at no extra charge.
Okay, have it your way. You can't change pollution. You can't change the deficit. You can't change the price of bread. But you gotta start somewhere. I mean, take your clothes, for example. If you just get out of that monkey suit, you might get a positive attitude going. I mean, the world could be your oyster. Oyster, well, it's an acquired taste that usually takes time and effort.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Michelob Dry. Bold taste with no aftertaste. Mick Dry refreshes completely. By Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. And by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
This is Charlie Jones and Merlin Olsen. Welcome back to Sullivan Stadium. The temperature 40 degrees, clear sky. A little bit of a crosswind, and Buffalo with the early lead 7-0, and the Bills at their own 29.
That wind, by the way, Charlie, will drop the chill factor here, and late in the game when the sun leaves the field, it will get very cold down there on the field.
Play action, fake. And Kelly overthrows Andre Reed. Good fake, good fake. Let's check the ticker. Detroit with an early lead on Cincinnati. Pittsburgh with the field goal. Dallas with the early lead. Minnesota. They missed the extra point. Herschel Walker went 93 yards in that one. Tampa Bay 10-0 Chicago. Saints and Atlanta tied. Here it is 7-0. 2:16 time remaining in a very fast-moving first quarter. And it is 2nd down and 10. Thomas near the 40-yard line. He should have the first down as he picks up 10.
We talked to Marv Levy yesterday, and Levy shared with us a little of his insight into the game of football and gave us his 4 keys to winning. The first of which, you might expect this from Levy, run and stop the run. And of course, they have run the ball effectively. Play inspired defense, play inspired special teams, and make big plays. Now, I said, Marv, you didn't mention the passing game. He said, if we do the first one and the second one and the third one, he said, we'll get the passing game in there because you set up the passing game with the run game. And that's always been his philosophy. control the line of scrimmage. I might add, Charlie, that you show those 4 to other coaches around the league, and 27 other coaches say, amen.
That's right. That's right. He's got it right. He finally figured it out.
Well, and so far in this ball game, they have been able to do that. They have been able to run, they've been able to stop the run, and they're playing inspired defense. Special teams, well, nothing inspired yet so far.
Thurman Thomas, 46 yards in 9 carries. Here is his 10th carry. And he goes bouncing to the 45-yard line. So he'll have 5. And it'll be 2nd down and 5. Kenneth Sims with the tackle. And Kennebrew again leading the way.
Metzlar also out there, and he's a great hook blocker. See that hook right there on the tight end? By the tight end on the linebacker. Roland James knocked out of the way on that play by Kennebrew. Kennebrew was not noted as a blocker in Cincinnati, Charlie. Done it well here.
Roland James didn't have a chance.
He didn't. No, he really didn't. Well, that's Kennebrew said 260, not 270. Somebody else said, oh, yeah, right, Larry. Sure, right. We saw you eat breakfast this morning.
Thomas again. This time the Patriots are waiting for him. That was 2nd down. Tim Goad led the defensive charge.
Tim Goad is a nice story, Charlie, an overachiever. I asked him if he'd always been big. He said, well, when I was back in college, he said, when I was a sophomore, I weighed 312 pounds. I said, wow. I said, that's big. He said, hey, he said, when I was in high school, I was playing running back and middle linebacker, and I weighed 287 pounds. Can you imagine a running back at 287 pounds? So he's trimmed himself down and playing well.
3rd down and 6. And going
Look
deep,
out.
Oh. Just off of the fingertip. That has to be Andre Reed.
No,
it's not.
Ronnie Harmon.
Then Ronnie Harmon, who comes in on the passing situations. He goes deep, had a step on the defenders, and the pass was just off of the hands.
So one knock on Harmon, who finds a way to get open, great speed. He tends to drop the football. And he dropped a tough catch, but certainly a makeable catch on that play. Harmon, a big play kind of player, and certainly the kind that gives coaches gray hairs. Not only the coaches on the other side, but his as well.
John Kidd will be kicking, and Tucker is the return man.
End over end. Oh, and a bad reception by Tucker. Look out.
And returns to the 41-yard line. Key block, Rod McSwain. And you check back, we do not see any flags.
So very often, when a receiver fumbles a snap like, or fumbles a catch like that, it takes the timing away from the onrushing team and opens the way then for a big return.
Then a comment, was there a flag thrown at the 41?
Personal foul, yes. At the end of the run, either a face mask or a block of some
Number 89, that's 15 yards.
And they'll tack 15 yards.
That's 89, Steve Tasker, great special teams player. That play, when he drops the ball, pulls the defenders inside. And you see the room it created outside. And Tucker running with huge adrenaline at that point. There's the late hit by Tasker, number 89, 15-yard penalty.
Into the quarter, Bills lead it 7-0.
If ever a name stood for a flat-out performance and excitement, it's Bonneville. This place and this car. Fast, powerful, and true to its name. Bonneville from Pontiac.
Get on your Pontiac. We build excitement.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Well, at the top of the telecast, we talked about motivation, and there's all kinds of motivation. This is a fun motivation for the Patriots.
Charlie, the Patriots have had a tough season, and the hope springs eternal for children. At the Taylor School, the second graders wanted to help the team get up a little bit. That's here in Foxborough. So they did these little hangers for each one of the players' lockers, and they wrote little nice things on there about, yay, you can do it, go, go, go. And then they did some bigger hangings, some bigger pieces, and this was one we thought you might like to see. Little pop-up helmets representing the teams.
Cheerleaders.
Little goalposts. They got the cheerleaders over here, and this is the special part of it. Again, the eternal optimism. Notice the score here. Home team 200, visitors nothing. Well, that may not be possible, but in the eyes of a second grader, this is their team, and you've got to appreciate that. Raymond Berry, I'm sure, getting a smile out of that. He hasn't had much to smile about during this season, Charlie.
And this was just a few, I mean, that we saw that they were in the players' lockers, they were in the hallway, down the stairwell, so it was really a neat feeling. The ball at the Buffalo 44-yard line. And Grogan comes out throwing.
Cedric Jones, number 83. Charlie, the conversations with him yesterday about what he did during this offseason to make sure he didn't drop the ball. And a lot of people know that he bought one of those automatic ball machines to catch the football, caught 400 passes a day, but he said he caught at all different angles. I'm sure this is one he tried, low and away. Watch him go down and concentrate on that football. Very difficult catch. Fine job on first down.
He explained to us that there are 18 different kinds of receptions. 18.
Well, he said you may only recognize 12. I'm not so sure I could recognize 12.
A flag is down as Perryman carries, but now we'll go check the marker out. It was second down and 1.
Bruce Smith with the tackle.
Bruce Smith with the tackle. Art still grabbed a piece of the play.
It's 1-3 first quarter. It's Tampa Bay 10, Chicago Bears nothing.
Boy, there's a real conversation going on down there.
I like Ben Bryant. He gets involved not only with us and with the with the announcement that he makes. Remember the famous one, and he pointed and said he was giving him the business. You can't do that.
He'll take charge in there.
Oh, yes.
He certainly will.
I like that. I like him.
I do too, Charlie. I like the fact that he's going to make sure that everything's going. Well, and that's motion. They're both teams offside. Illegal motion and encroachment. Now let's see who they got.
Illegal motion on the offense. Two guys moving at the same time. Defense was in the neutral zone, offset.
Well, we know who was in the neutral zone. It's Art Still right here. Watch Still leaping up over the stack here. And what they're saying is that he was not impacted by the double motion. They said he wasn't drawn off by the motion. He went off on his own. Now, if they had determined that it was motion that drew him off, that penalty would have gone against the offense. So the penalty's offset there.
But it wasn't a false start motion. It was two men in motion at the same time when the snap took place. Second down and a yard.
Stevens going outside. Get upfield. Well, that's something that Stevens did not do last year, Charlie. Rarely ran out of bounds last year, and during this season, I'm sure that the injuries have contributed to that, and ankle injuries and other injuries early in the year, running to the sideline.
And this morning, when we talked with Shane Conlon, he said this is a tendency, and tell him what the defense was going to do to
well, they said they were going to try and funnel him outside and force him to the sideline, and certainly that's exactly what they did there.
13:51. We're in the second quarter. That's the time remaining. Buffalo 7 and New England nothing. New England with their best opportunity here, and it's third down and 1. And there's the first down.
Charlie, I'd like to go back to Cedric Jones. We talked about our visit with him and what he had said about his jug machine and catching 400 passes a day. Looks like Raymond Bentley on the ground. Well, he's up on his feet. But Cedric Jones had told us, he said at one point, catching 200 passes in the morning, 200 in the afternoon, he said, my hands got so raw that they were bleeding, and I couldn't continue. So I had to quit for a week, and then I finally was able to come back and start again using gloves.
All right, we have an injury timeout, and so we'll go away. 13:33 time remaining. First half, Buffalo 7-0.
Why do you get great service from a MetLife rep? He's got terrific follow-through, answering tough questions. He's fast when it comes to paying claims. He's got lots of drive and power. And he makes neat saves when the going gets rough. It all adds up to advantage. MetLife. Get Met. It pays.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime. And we think you should make the best of it. The Braun Shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
When you've got your power stroke going, you've got confidence that nothing's going to beat you. Introducing Power Stick, the new antiperspirant that gives you 24-hour odor and wetness protection in just 1 wide stroke. It takes 2 strokes of the leading stick to match Power Stick's 1-stroke protection, 24-hour protection. In just 1 stroke. New Power Stick from Fabergé.
NBC Sports serves your need to know all week long. Dial 1-900-454-3500 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the USA.
Ray Bentley on the sideline, and he was holding his wrist as he came off the field. Cornelius Bennett looks like he is ready to play. They have retaped that knee. He looks like he wants to get back in the ballgame, but he is not the kind of player you take risks with, Charlie. We may not see a lot of Cornelius today.
First down at the 32-yard line. New England driving to try and tie the game. Stevens sweep to the far side. And now he cuts downfield to the 26. So he'll pick up about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Nate Odoms with the tackle.
We talked about the great year that John Stevens had last year and mentioned his injuries. Thigh injury back in August kept him on the sideline for 2 preseason games, and September 17th he ripped up that ankle, and for the earlier game we did at Buffalo, Charlie, he was unavailable, was on the sideline, very, very frustrated. And then last week, a hip pointer. So he has had some tough times.
John and his wife Kim very active in charities in the Boston area. And Stevens carries just outside the 25, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 3. They were going with a double tight end on the set. And when he won the Old Spice Award, he received a check for $25,000, and he donated it to charity, the Roxbury Comprehensive Community Health Center. And so just one of the many NFL athletes that participate in charities throughout the United States.
I know the Buffalo Bills very proud of the way their team gets involved. Interesting that here are 2 backs, Thurman Thomas and John Stevens, both in their 2nd year. Stevens really suffering from that sophomore jinx. Not so Thomas, who's having a great year.
Eric Sievers, one of the receivers, and he picks up double coverage. Now he's alone. If Grogan can get it to him, and he cannot, it's going to come up short.
That's the one thing you can't do, and Grogan, who has lost that mobility, 4 knee operations have taken their toll on Grogan. He tried to throw it back against the grain, against the body, and he just couldn't get enough on it. Watch him as he'll roll now to his left. He stops. He tries to throw the ball over the top. Simply cannot do it. That's a lineman's dream.
Jeff Bryant has the interception. Back in a moment.
It's uncanny how this car turns one person after another into a real driving enthusiast. But that's the magic of Grand Am. Grand Am excitement in your choice of coupe or sedan. Check it out. See your dealer about early buyer and other incentives now on hot new 1990 Grand Ams.
Come on along and head for the mountains of Bush. Big, head for the mountains. It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Big, Bush, big.
Oh, 5 more minutes. It's our anniversary. Let's call in sick.
Can't.
Oh, 10 years deserves something.
True.
Haven't I made you coffee for 10 years?
Haven't I had to drink it? Now, come on.
Why?
Show your friends this. Happy anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. This year, tell her you'd marry her all over again.
Okay, I'll show him. Tomorrow.
Squash, stuffing, and turkey. A feast for the dogs. Thursday.
This is a lineman's dream, a ball hanging in the air. Wright, number 91, and Seals, number 96, are going to fight for this football. I got to tell you, linemen don't get this chance very often, Charlie. And look at that. Hey, mine. No, I got it. Okay. And Jeff Wright comes up with the football. Leon Seals said, man, I had it. It was in my hands. It was my interception. They're the two of them, and they both get a little credit for that. But Wright got the interception.
Thurman Thomas from the 16 out to the 18. It'll be 2nd down and 8. That was the 14th interception by the Bills this year. And Marv Levy, when we talked to him, talked about turnovers. He said, when we win, we have a lot of turnovers. We checked it. 7 wins, they have 9 turnovers. He said, when we lose, we don't have the ball. -9.
That's a +9 on the takeaway giveaway table. And you're absolutely right, Charlie. And I mentioned that 3 big turnovers last week in the first quarter of that game against Indianapolis gave them 13 points. They'd like to turn this turnover into some points here today.
2nd and 8.
Fumble.
And New England has the ball.
Well, how do you negate a turnover? You get one of your own. The New England defense comes right back. This is something that Raymond Berry had his team doing from the very first when he came to New England, stripping at the football. Let's watch it. Thomas will cut back against the grain. It's 50. McGrew banging in there. And Ed Reynolds, number 95, from the inside linebacking position, the man there to scoop up that football.
And New England with a golden opportunity at the Buffalo 16. And Ed Reynolds does not want to let the ball go.
You see McGrew stripping that football away, number 50. Thomas didn't have enough of a handle on it. And this is, as you said, extremely fine field position.
And Grogan to throw for it, has pressure.
Great hit. Talley, number 56, Darryl Talley coming from that right-hand side. It's so hard over there because you've got Bruce Smith to deal with on that offensive left-hand side. Let's take a look now. Raymond Berry has an interesting way of calling plays. He'll determine whether it's run or pass. The man with the red hat, Richard Woods, the linebacker or quarterback coach, if it's a passing play, will call a pass. Bobby Greer on the right, if it's a running play, will call a run. And Flutie, standing in the middle, has to decipher all this and signal it into the quarterback. We'll watch it next time and see if we can see what's going on.
Meanwhile, Grogan 1 for 4 for 9 yards. He's been intercepted 1 time. Has time, and he overthrows.
Charlie, let's go back quickly to that sideline. Grogan angry with the pattern, but let's go back and see if we can see. Raymond has called his action now. I think it's a pass play. Bobby Greer's not saying anything. Well, now
he said,
well, you can decide what you want. Doug Flutie said the toughest part is they have to both talk sometimes so that the other team can't tell what's going on. I think it's a pass. I didn't see Bobby Greer say anything, even though he made some signals.
The reason they both have to talk is when Bob Trumpy was in here covering, he pointed that out, and there was a big controversy about it from the standpoint that we didn't know that, and they had to change the way they were doing it.
Well, let's see if it is a pass play. Well, it's 3rd down. That's obvious. I don't...
Into coverage and almost intercepted in the end zone.
Maybe that's an unfair time to do it, Charlie. It's 3rd and 10. Yeah, yes, it was a pass play.
Yes.
And everyone back in Buffalo said, sure, it's a pass play. Dummy, it's 3rd and 10. I know that. Well, here's the play. Nate Odom's in that unique sit-down style of his. It's Hartley Dykes they want. The #1 pick from last year by the New England Patriots. A big week last week with 5 receptions, all for first downs, by the way. Simply could not control that one, and they'll go for the field goal. Strabrowski kicking his 2nd game after coming back to replace Greg Davis.
And from 33 yards out, officially it's 34. And Starofsky has put New England on the board. Buffalo leads it 7-3.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas. Radio Shack sale-priced cordless phone, this year's most popular Christmas gift.
Hi, Grandma.
It's for you.
Hi.
It goes from room to room, has a handy redial button, and it's on sale for just $59.95. The sale-priced portable cordless phone. It's for you.
Hi.
It's a great gift idea.
Sure. It's for you.
For me? It's for me! The cordless phone, on sale now at Radio Shack, the technology store.
You hear the thunder, the call of the road. No time to wonder, you gotta go.
It's a driving experience like no other. Pontiac Grand Prix.
Get on your Pontiac and ride, Pontiac ride.
Once you experience the 1990 Grand Prix, your approach to driving will never be the same.
Rebuild excitement.
See your dealer about early buyer and other incentives now in the new 1990 Grand Prix.
How to know where on earth your package is. Charlie Smith has a nose for tracking. He can spot a Federal Express package from Bangkok to the North Sea. He can tell you when your package clears customs in Tokyo or takes off for Sydney. You see, Federal Express tracks your package through computerized checkpoints, so Charlie Smith always knows where everything is.
Anyone see my glasses?
Federal Express.
Very funny.
The best way to ship it over here is now the best way to ship it over there.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. By the Die Hard battery, now with more power when you need it most. And by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name.
As you can see, we have a cross breeze, a cool afternoon. Temperature 40 degrees at kickoff time. Don Beebe is the return man. He's hit from the front and the back.
Mosi to
fumbles the ball.
Another turnover.
And New England has it. 22-yard return.
A crunching hit by Mosi Tutupu, and 41 Darrell Holmes there to recover that football, and for the 2nd time back-to-back. Just listen to this hit as we run it at normal speed for you.
Temperature 40 degrees at kickoff time. Don Beebe.
Ooh, you heard that one at home the way we did. Number 30, Tutupu, one of the great special teamers of all times, earning his keep on a play like that.
You also heard a little bit of my audio at the beginning of that.
Charlie did a good job on that. Sounded just as good the 2nd time.
New England at the Buffalo 21-yard line. They were here a moment ago. They could cash in only 3. Here's Stevens. Has an opening. First down.
That's the slashing kind of running that Stevens did last year to earn Rookie of the Year honors. And Charlie, as we opened the show today, I said turnovers could be the way for New England to get themselves back into this game. Well, they got 3 points off the last one. They'd like to get 7 off this one. And Stevens is going to help the cause by getting a first down just inside of the 10-yard line.
You also said in the opening that that man, John Stevens, has to have a good day.
Well, and so
he's got to have a great day.
So far, he's doing that, Charlie.
And his momentum takes him to the 6. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go. And that hip pointer doesn't seem to bother. Now, hip pointer, you can get away with, right?
Well, you can. He's wearing some very heavy hip pads on his hips. Let's watch Stevens on this play. He's going to start a little jump step to his left, trying to get inside. That's Radisic overrunning the play, 97. Remember, he is in there in place of the injured Cornelius Bennett. And I don't think Bennett would have overrun that play. I think ordinarily that play would have been stopped on the line. Stevens able to juke Radisek out and get the extra yardage.
2nd and goal.
Offsides, Buffalo, Charlie. They're going to get another shot at it here.
Flag is down. Perryman to the 2-yard line. Now the line of scrimmage is the 6. They could split the difference, take it to the 3, get the down over, so it'll be 2nd down and goal to go.
That's assuming that there was no movement in the New England offensive line, and there wasn't. Now you got a choice.
I'll take the penalty.
Well, you take the penalty, and you certainly then save the down, and I think, well, I would agree, Charlie. You sacrifice a yard, but you get the extra down.
The nose guard of the defense was in the neutral zone. 5 yards. 2nd down.
He means split the distance.
Smirlis holding up his hand saying, what, who, me? Looking inside. Here's the man to watch. Fred Smirlis. Let's see what he does on this play. There it is. Just dropped his head into the neutral zone. And the reason he's offsides is he's already crowding the ball as close as he can before he moved forward.
Penalties, New England 3 for 14, Buffalo 2 for 20. 2nd and goal. Perryman. He's going to lean almost to the 2. So it'll be 3rd down and goal to go. So the penalty really didn't affect what is going to happen at the end of this drive. Art still the key man for the Buffalo Bills on that stop.
One of the positive notes that Raymond Berry made in our conversation with him yesterday was that this offensive line is finally back intact after suffering some injuries early in the year. And right now, they need to take charge, need to get some real surge down there. This is a very strong Buffalo defensive line that they're dealing with. Let's see what they can do.
3rd down, goal to go.
Expect a pass, Charlie. No, they're going to run it.
Stevens will lose a couple of yards. He's going to lose 3 to the 5. It'll be 4th down and goal to go. And so 2 turnovers are going to total only 6 points if this field goal attempt is successful.
Not what Raymond Berry wanted to see. The Bills, and we talked about how you can divide this Bills season by that injury to Kelly, the 5th game. Look at what happened. The first 5 games, an average of 28 points given up. The last 5 games, look what they have been doing. Only 15.5 yards per game. This is a defense, again, that has really taken charge, and it was that injury to Kelly, that catalytic kind of thing that changed the way they were playing.
And here is the field goal attempt. It is good. Ray Bentley back in the ballgame, led that last stop, 24 yards on the field goal. And now we have a 7-6 ball game. Buffalo by 1.
The next time you experience headaches, backaches, nausea, and sleepless nights, there is one way to get relief fast. GMAC. We make financing and leasing your new GM vehicle painless.
Life's full of simple pleasures. Like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
It's McRib time at McDonald's. Grilled pork and that sassy sauce. Add fries and a Coke and you're talking chomp, but only for a limited time. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. McRib chomp.
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and 1 die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die-hard. More power when you need it most.
The Raiders. The Oilers. Black and blue. Next.
This is Charlie Jones, Merlin Olsen. Sullivan Stadium, Buffalo 7, New England 6. Don Beebe and Ronnie Harmon set to return the kickoff of Jason Starofsky. And he's taken at the 11-yard line by Beebe. And a flag is down, and another flag is down. Jim Bowman makes the tackle. Buffalo has had one 60-yard drive that they took forever to do. And it will go against the return team, the Buffalo Bills. And an illegal block.
Illegal block, number 45. That's 10 yards, and it's first down.
That's on Dwight Drain, who is the holder on the kickoff. Chance to update the other games. Detroit, Cincinnati tied. San Diego in front of Pittsburgh. That's a change of fortunes there. Dallas still in front of Miami. Minnesota leading Philadelphia 6-3. Tampa Bay out in front of Chicago, and the Saints and the Falcons still tied. Here it is Buffalo 7, New England 6, 6:55. Time remaining in the second quarter. Good play action fake by Kelly, goes far side, and it is incomplete. Flip Johnson, the intended receiver.
Good pressure inside by number 59, Vincent Brown, coming in on Kelly.
Kelly, like Grogan, not that effective through the air. He's completed only 1 of 5 for 9 yards. However, he's keeping the hands warm, as you can see. However, he has not thrown that much.
He hasn't had to throw that much, Charlie. And the last 2 times Buffalo took the ball down on this end of the field, they turned it over. That's something they do not want to do again. They need to get something going and get out of that deep end of the field. Going deep. Great catch, Andre Reed. Great catch. When Raymond Claiborne left with an injury, he's missed a couple of ball games. Rod McSwain took his place. You get a new face in the secondary, you go check him out. And who do you send to do it? You send your best receiver, number 83, Andre Reed. Watch this stretch for the catch. Ooh, great move. Reed has made some unbelievable catches on the year and some great runs afterwards.
48 yards. The first big play. The big play, the results for Marv Levy of all the other things that he talked about.
That certainly takes them out of the deep end of the field and gets them into New England territory.
Thurman Thomas, the ball carrier. From the 35 down to the 29, he's got 6, and it'll be second down and 4.
Just as a tack on to that catch by Reed, when we talked to him yesterday, talking about what he did to improve his own performance, he took up juggling to work with his hands, to get his hands to be more pliable so he could control the football better. Well, he didn't juggle that one, Charlie. He just pulled it home.
A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the ball game. Second down and 4. And here comes the blitz, and incomplete. Kelly read the blitz, was looking for the hot receiver, and that time the hot receiver was Andre Reed. I'm not sure that Reed read the blitz or if Kelly just simply had to get rid of it too soon.
I think the blitz was timed perfectly by New England. They were on him so quickly. That's number 95 in there, Ed Reynolds, who came in and they just outmanned Buffalo on the inside. Reynolds in there so quickly that Kelly just had to unload the football. So perfect timing on the blitz by the Patriots forced the bad pass from Kelly. Third, 5 yards to go.
Kelly has pressure, goes over the middle, and it is incomplete. A reminder to our viewers to stay tuned for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. The Seattle Seahawks head east. They'll be taking on the NFC East leading New York Giants immediately following the conclusion of the Bills-Patriots game. And then on Thanksgiving Day, and this is always a holiday tradition, the Detroit Lions hosting the Cleveland Browns. The Browns battle the Lions, and Heisman Trophy winner Barry Sanders, who's already scored a touchdown today. That's Thanksgiving Day on NBC.
Charlie, they've elected to go for it on 4th down, feeling that it's out of the range. But let's see, maybe they're just trying to draw an offsides call. An offside call would be enough. Let's see if Kelly is just barking and trying to get them offsides. Nope, they're going to run a play. And they've got the first down.
And more. 8-yard line. Don B. Beebe. 22 yards.
Beebe has had some big plays so far this year. He certainly has come up with one here. Beebe on the outside. Just have a chance to watch him. Watch him step forward and delay as they clear it out here and then come across the middle of the field to make this catch. Once he catches the ball, the little delay right there, across the middle of the field, and now watch him turn it up and use that great speed. He's a flyer, Charlie.
Kelly now 3 for 9, 79 yards. He improves the numbers, and he'll add another one as he goes to Thurman Thomas. 6-yard line.
Charlie, when Rob Riddick went down early in the season, Thurman Thomas had to take on a bigger role in the passing game. They didn't know how he would respond to that. He's responded extremely well, has become an excellent receiver. Look at those numbers, 38 receptions, over 400 yards. I said it earlier, I don't think there's a halfback, I don't think there's a back in football who is more effective pass and run at this moment in the NFL than Thurman Thomas. Great catch on that last play.
2nd and goal at the 6.
Good defense.
Killebrew is stopped in his tracks. Brent Williams and Johnny Rimbert were there.
Defensively for the Patriots.
If you're going to get Killebrew, you got to get him early.
Well, you better get him with some big people. They're coming with the blitz. Rimbert there very quickly got Killebrew before he got started, and that's the way to do it. And look how many red shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it takes about that many.
They're down and go.
Jeter, a pass rushing specialist, as they go in 3rd and 9, expecting the throw from Kelly.
Over the middle, pass is complete to Beebe, and he is dropped at the 6.
Wiped up one of the officials as well, Charlie, as they're running the same play. The drag play across the middle. Beebe successful with it earlier for the first down.
Now they'll go with the field goal attempt.
I asked Scott Norwood if he had any good memories of this field. There's Beebe again. Same play. Successful on the other side. Not so on this side. Fred Marion, there goes the umpire down.
That's a clip.
Ouch.
Throw a flag on him.
I asked Norwood if he liked kicking here. He said, I've never missed here. Well, let's give him a chance.
24-yard attempt.
Good one to start with.
It's to the right.
Well.
And he misses to the right.
And Norwood, who felt so good about kicking here, may change his mind after today.
The score remains Buffalo 7, New England 6.
In 13 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve, halfway around the world. Come fly to friendly skies.
The product, the proving grounds, the results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
A great Thanksgiving tradition. The Skins game returns to NBC, where one putt could be worth $450,000. Whoa! Jack Nicklaus, Curtis Strange, Ray Floyd, and Lee Trevino play the Skins game. Thanksgiving weekend on NBC.
You might wonder why Jim Kelly was able to keep his hands so warm and complete all those passes on that drive. Well, we have the secret, because I've got my hands are warm.
You certainly do, Charlie.
Yes,
this is what Kelly wears on the field, a little muff. And of course, it's not just it's lined and fleece lined and very warm. Developed by Al Davis's son, by the way, who has arranged these. And of course, nicely decorated. He'll decorate one for your team if you want one. And inside, a little chemical warmer that keeps those hands extra warm on a cold day. And obviously, this kind of day is one when you want to have A lot of warm hands, especially for quarterback.
I'm working on one for the throat. All right, Patriots, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Stevens to the outside. Then he turns it up. The Buffalo defense did not expect it. He has been sliding to the outside and stepping out of bounds, and he picks up a quick 21 yards.
It was number 46, Leonard Smith, bringing John Stevens down. It's a first down for the Patriots.
Acceleration as Grogan simply does the same. It's the same play that the Bills ran earlier very effectively. Nate Odoms was up quickly to try and head that play off, unable to do so. They run it down from behind. Leonard Smith, number 46, finally making the tackle. Big yardage.
And now Grogan from the shotgun. And inside handoff to Stevens. Has 2 blockers in front, and he goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So he has 7. And it'll be 2nd down and 3. 2:01 time remaining in the first half, so they'll get an extra play. If you were with us for the pregame show, these were the headlines. The new commissioner, NFL drug policy is enforceable with or without a players' union. Bobby Beathard, the Redskins are a better team without Dexter Manley. As you know, he is out for life. Schottenheimer, the real story of why I left the Browns is yet to be told. And our own fearsome force of the NFL Live, they'll be here at halftime, and they'll be updating all the scores and highlights of the first half. Here's Stevens. And he'll lose 3. It'll be 3rd down and 6. And now the 2-minute warning will be given to both teams. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Buffalo by 1.
A6, hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing, and it shows.
We love to fly.
He's the king.
And it shows.
This way, Mr. Starr.
Life with me dad's a real scream. He needs a star vehicle, like my all-new Cutlass Supreme. It's a fab four-door that really screams. Hello, Daddy.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile. This is the new generation of old.
What's cooking in the world of college hoops? Get a first-hand taste of the new season with the always unpredictable Al McGuire, a preseason basketball special on NBC.
Linebacker Tim Jordan of New England, a right hamstring, and he will not come back into the ball game. And the running report on John Stevens, 12 carries, 51 yards. So he's doing exactly, Merlin, what you said that he was going to have to do.
Well, I mentioned that if the New England Patriots were going to stay in this game, they had to get turnovers and do something with them, and Stevens had to have a great game, and so far both those things have happened for the Patriots.
And they're right in the middle of the ball.
They're in the hunt right now.
Grogan throwing on 3rd down, and it is incomplete.
What a fine defensive play by Jackson. Boy, I'll tell you, that is great play. And let's go back in and look at the pressure. Now, why did the quarterback get knocked down? Very simply, Danny Villa cannot control Bruce Smith. Well, there aren't many tackles that can, and look at that. There's Bruce Smith's first step off the ball is the fastest of any defensive end I've ever seen, and his closing time is just as quick.
And Grogan only 1 completion for 7 yards in the first half. Bad snap, but he gets it off. And Buffalo takes over with 1:45 time remaining in the first half, following a 27-yard kick. Mickey Sutton with a fair catch. Jeff Fiegels, the punter. And there's There's Kelly. He says his name on it. Mine has my name on it. mine is erasable, though.
Now, Charlie, the one, you bring a team in from the West Coast or down in Florida, and even on a day like today, they'll be very cold. This Buffalo team, hey, they're out there in shirt sleeves before the game. They said, this is a warm day. This is nice. It's snowing in Buffalo. They can handle this weather without any problem.
Kelly drops it again over the middle, a middle screen on the delay. Thurman Thomas. Thomas to the 40. Now he goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line to stop the clock. 1:36, a lot of time remaining. 17 yards. First down, Buffalo.
First down for the Bills.
Looking to the right, good head fake, and sets up the middle screen. As you can see, the lineman staying there. Thomas behind them, but it was the head fake and the look to the right side, but the veteran quarterback that set it up. Now this one he bounces, and it is going to be incomplete. Ronnie Harmon, the intended receiver, but he took it on the bounce.
Jim Kelly, touchdown passes last season in 16 games. He had 15. Look what he's done this season in 7 games. He is really having a fine year.
On the money to Beebe. Beebe out of bounds, stops the clock at the New England 42-yard line.
Charlie, I think the thing that Kelly has improved most, we have a flag down on the far side of the field. The thing that Kelly has improved most on during this season is that kind of throw to the outside. He's always thrown great down the middle. He's throwing better to the outside this year, and also his ability not to make the mistakes when he's scrambling. He's always been able to stay in the pocket. Big, strong quarterback, and not afraid to do that.
May have been on Ken Sims. I think he was a little late getting off. May have been called for 12 men on the field, and one of the situation substitutions with players always moving in and out.
12 men on the field on a defense. That's
You're right, Charlie. Good call. Good eyes on that one.
Second down.
I can't take all of the credit. I didn't see it. My spot. We got a great backup crew here. They see everything.
You mean you had more than 2 eyes on that one,
yes, yes, yes.
Kelly will be happy to take the 5 yards. 6 out of 13 on the day for almost 100 yards. Not a great passing day, but on a day when you're running the ball effectively, not a bad way to go. And he has had a couple of big passes so far today. One to Beebe and one to Andre Reed.
They'll refuse that penalty and take the play to the 42. It has a first down. 1:27 time remaining. First half. Buffalo leads by 1, 7-6. From the shotgun, and it's incomplete. Second and 10 at the 42. Beebe, the intended receiver.
Tell you how desperate, Charlie, this New England defense in. Errol Tucker, number 21, with 2 days practice, is on the field.
And Buffalo in a hurry-up 2-minute offense. Sideline pass is complete.
Great catch.
And out of bounds at the 29. First down, gain of 13.
Excellent concentration, and Beebe is fitting in so well. They love his speed, and they also love his hands when he handles the ball like that. Senses that sideline so well.
And as you notice, be sure to be with us at halftime, NFL Live. Bob Costas and OJ will be updating all the scores and highlights.
Good catch again.
At the 8-yard line, Ronnie Harmon. 21 yards, first and goal.
Charlie, so often when we see that ball thrown on the sideline and we say the receiver couldn't stay in bounds, a lot of time the ball is thrown so a receiver can't. Kelly gives his receiver room with that throw, and Harmon dropped the pass early, makes that catch for the nice first down inside the 10.
And even though they went out of bounds to stop the clock, they're in a hurry-up mode. They're in that 2-minute offense. Kelly, he can do it. He did it against Miami. No, he goes down.
Yeah, he's got a holding call back there, Charlie, and that is going to hurt. That is going to hurt him. No, not holding. Personal foul. Lawrence McGrew, did he go to the face? Yeah, he's pointing to number 50. To the face mask, I would think. Let's see what he says.
No, he pointed the wrong way. Did he? To shake the head means he erased it. He said, no, I didn't mean that. It's against me.
59 on the defense. Head slap.
Head slap.
Now, you were the master of the head slap. You and Deacon Jones.
59. Well, he pointed at McGrew first. Now he goes back and let's see if we can see the head slap.
There it comes.
Right. Well, no, we don't see it. No. It must have taken place earlier. That's the only thing I can tell you. The flag was already on the ground, so it must have taken place earlier. Vincent Brown. Now there's a physical specimen. 35-inch waist. He wears a size 54 coat.
54 coats.
Where do you buy your clothes? He says, it's kind of hard to find shirts. Well,
yes.
Big play there. Taylor, good play. First and goal.
His clothes are tailor-made, no question. Thurman Thomas cut off outside. Good defensive play by Johnny Rembert. Because Rembert got isolated, and he tried to move back inside of him, and Rembert had to make the play, and he did at the 5. We've got a timeout. 55 seconds left in the first half. Buffalo leads by 1, 7-6.
It has arrived.
Good morning, Mr. Graves. This is the all-new 4-door Cutlass Supreme. Your mission is to show the world that it's causing an automotive revolution. Its sleek look and responsive performance make it a superpower among world-class cars.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile.
Hey, head up!
This is the new generation of Olds.
We're on videotape. This was earlier. Scott Norwood just missed it, missed it to the right. His shortest miss in his career and first time he's ever missed in the stadium.
Disappointing. They want to come away with 7. It's 2nd and 5 after that loss by Thomas. Big tackle on that play by Johnny Rembert. Let's see what they've got cooked up. Ted Marcia-Broda sending in the calls while Norwood warms up on the sideline, and I'm sure saying, how in the world could I miss that short one?
3 wide receivers and Ronnie Harmon, who in reality is the 4th wide receiver.
Kelly not happy with the formation, moved it around.
Inside handoff to Thomas. Maybe a face mask. No, they're not going to call it. For Thomas, that is his 16th carry in the ball game, and he has 55 yards rushing in the first half.
Jeter had a piece of Thomas in the backfield and lost him. Would have had him for a loss. Thomas pulled out of that play. Watch him now. Number 99 breaking inside will get a piece of Thomas right there from the backside. Could not hang on. Thomas finally stopped on the outside.
Almost a face mask call. I thought I saw it there.
Charlie, I think you're right. Fred Marion, Roland James, number 38, making the stop. It's going to be 3rd down, 3 yards to go.
But what the defender did is that when he felt his hands on the face mask, if you notice, he didn't grab or try to tie. He let it slide down to the body so that the head didn't move, so he didn't get the call.
Well, it doesn't matter if you touch the mask.
Oh, yeah.
But the official obviously did not see it or did not call it.
Well, he didn't see it. He saw it. He would call it.
I'm not so sure. They see a lot of holding they don't call.
You're more cynical than I am.
You can't tell me they're calling all the holding that's taking place out there. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Big down for Buffalo. Short lead, 7-6. Ooh.
Kelly with the pressure, the pass.
Is it a fumble? It may be a fumble. Are they saying fumble?
Did he come forward with it? Or did the hit cause it? Reith is pointing it down.
Charlie, it looked to me like that ball started forward on Kelly's hand, but they're saying that it was a fumble. Levy is saying, wait a minute, he's throwing the football. Now, this is a possession ruling. They may look at it upstairs. Kelly is saying, look, I started forward. Reith saying, no way. You watch for yourself. If the arm starts forward, then it's a pass. I got to say, I think that's a pass. I think it's a pass, and that's Rembert making the sack. Big play by Rembert moments ago on the left side. He's had 2 big plays, but backed up against the goal line.
Yeah, he had started it forward. The wrist had started broken just a little. He was hit. The ball falls off to the right-hand side.
Well, but are they going to review it? Yes, I think they are. I think they've stepped over the ball. They are indeed reviewing the play.
Well, let's show it to him again. We'll help him out.
Now, of course, if it is reversed by the officials in the replay booth, if they say that it was a forward pass, an incomplete forward pass, there'll be an opportunity here for the field goal.
Be 4th down. The key is the arm and the wrist, and was he in the passing motion? I see him in the passing motion. I just see you call it, and let's go. Give it back to Buffalo. And
after review by the replay official, he's going to reverse the call. That was a forward pass.
And that will be the call by the officials.
That's a good call. So it will go as a sack. 5-yard sack by Rimber.
No, it will go as an incompleted pass, Charlie. It would have gone as a sack if they hadn't reversed the call. So it's right.
I don't know. I was just handed that information. I just read what's in front of me.
Had it not been reversed, it would have been a sack.
Don't shoot the messenger. All right, 4th down.
Scott Norwood will have another opportunity, almost the identical kick, even
11.
shorter than the other one.
21 yards. He missed dead right from 24, and this would be from 21 yards away. John Kidd is the holder. Adam Lingner is the snapper.
Good kickers have short memories. They got to forget about the misses, concentrate on this kick.
It doesn't get any perfect. And a flag's down. Any more perfect. Flag is down. Dendreich is holding. Holding against Buffalo.
Now, from a relatively easy kick, we'll go back 10.
It'll be from 21. It was from, he's from 31.
I shouldn't say relatively easy. They're easy for me. I don't have to kick them.
97 offense holding.
Scott Radisick, linebacker who's in at a wing position. He's the far side of your screen, right-hand side. Watch him reach out. Man goes by him and he jerks. Oh, yes.
That's a takedown.
That's 28, Jim Bowman, the Patriot that he grabbed. He was afraid he was going to get inside, so he just hooked him and jerked him down inside. Good call by the official. Radisick, who is playing today for the injured Cornelius Bennett, and also doing double duty on the special teams.
31 yards on the attempt. And it's good again. Check for flags. It's okay.
Left on the scoreboard clock as they come back up the field. It's the Buffalo Bills 10, the New England Patriots 6.
So Norwood hits from 31 yards out.
Norwood gets a chance to even the scale. One miss, one good one, although he's made two. Had to make two to get that 3 points on the board. And this game's surprisingly close here in the first half, Charlie. The thing that has made it so, Raymond Berry obviously had his troops well prepared. They have been able to take the football away, convert those takeovers into points. They have played inspired football at times today defensively. And John Stevens has had a fine day so far in this ball game. In fact, both the running backs, Stevens and Thurman Thomas, playing exceptionally well here today.
It's Buffalo 10, New England 6, now with 35 seconds, time remaining in the first half. In the AFC East, Buffalo leading at the 7-3 record. Miami just a game back at 6-4. Then it's Indianapolis at 4-6, New England at 3-7, and the Jets at 2-8. Miami at Dallas today. The Jets are at Indianapolis tonight. And next week, Cincinnati's at Buffalo and New England at the Raiders. Kittrick Taylor and Errol Tucker are the return men. Taylor 49, Tucker 21.
If you're a New England fan and you say, who were those people? They were just signed this week.
And they're still introducing themselves to their teammates. And Taylor will down it in the end zone. And New England will go to work at their own 20-yard line. Still with 35 seconds of time remaining. The statistics on the quarterback, Steve Grogan, 1 of 7 for 9 yards and an interception.
He has had some real heat on him today. Certainly not the kind of statistics he will be proud of at all. Grogan, a real competitor, though. And he has the respect of this Buffalo defense. They're not going to look at those numbers.
New England 4 wide receivers, Hartley Dykes, Cedric Jones, Glenn Antrim, the rookie free agent from UConn, and Eric Sievers, who doubles as a tight end, H-back, and sometimes wide receiver. And this pass is complete to Stevens, and he goes rolling up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 9 yards on the play. They're going to mark it the 29.
Did not get out of bounds, or did he? They've stopped the clock.
No, they took the timeout.
They took the timeout. He did not get out of bounds. So they had Stevens, a rarely used pass catcher, does not catch the ball that often, Charlie. And low on the totem pole in terms of priorities for the Buffalo defense.
Matter of fact, that is only his 7th reception on the year. Reminder to our viewers to stay tuned for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the NFC East leading New York Giants immediately following this ball game. And then be sure to be with us on Thanksgiving Day. It's a holiday tradition from the Motor City. You'll have turkey at home this year, but this is a game that you've enjoyed doing for many years in the past.
I certainly have, Charlie. And Cleveland in the middle of that race in the AFC Central Division. They'll have their hands full. Detroit playing that interesting run and shoot offense. What do they call it? Silver Rush now? I hope these guys are less one-dimensional in this halftime show than they are in that picture. I'm sure they will be.
Grogan goes deep over the middle, and it is incomplete. Hartley Dykes.
And there's a roughing call, I think, on Bruce Smith. Nailed Grogan. A chance for you to watch the play. They call Smith for roughing the passer. Just breaks inside on the stunt.
Number 79.
Got him for going high on him.
And they got him up into the face right there. Tally, I think, was the other man there. 96, Leon Seals saying, what do you mean, man? He was right there. He didn't take the extra step. Charlie, what did the official say? Did they say going at the head here?
Yes, yeah. See, he was in time, but he goes high and hits him in the head.
That's Tally, the linebacker, in there, and they sandwich. Well, Leon Seals almost ran over Bruce Smith on the way over to argue with the official.
He's trying to be an attorney.
Now, they have tried to protect Grogan. In fact, a couple of calls last week in that game, very quickly thrown to roughing calls.
44-yard line, Grogan goes deep.
Away.
Incomplete. And we're down to 18 seconds left in the first half.
Charlie, when I talked to Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator of this Buffalo Bill team, he said he really hates to play against the New England Patriots. I said, why is that? He said, because Raymond Berry does such a great job of disguising what he wants to do. He doesn't give you any tendencies. Usually a team has tendencies, and Berry spends his whole week trying to help his team break those tendencies. And they'll look and be very careful. And of course, Wood and Greer obviously have to be in on that because they are the men actually calling the play. But Berry helps them set up that game plan on the ready list.
Grogan over the middle. This pass is complete. And then the ball comes loose. But they're going to rule it down. Eric Sievers on the receiving end for 7. The official pointed right to the ground. And they're going to rule it down right there at the 49-yard line.
The ground cannot call a fumble. The official saying the catch was registered. Ball came loose as Sievers hit the ground. The end of the play now. Eric Sievers, you mentioned it, Charlie, the leading receiver, Radisic there. I think that ball, well, hard to see where the knee is. Maybe we can run it. Do we have another angle of it?
Watch the left knee is down and the ball squirts out there right at the middle. That's very, very close.
Charlie, I think that ball is out before the knee is on the ground.
Irrefutable evidence?
Well, we've given you 2. Let's go back and look. Can't see where the knee is there. And again, remember, at the replay booth, the replay official is charged with the responsibility of looking at the replay and saying, does that irrefutably change the way the play should have been called? If it's a question as to whether it should or shouldn't have been called, he won't change it. It has to be irrefutable proof.
Give you time to check out some scores. We mentioned just a moment ago, Miami a game behind Buffalo, and they are playing Dallas at Dallas, and Dallas leads them 14-3 with 35 seconds to go in the first half.
We're getting the we should have remembered this, Charlie. Once the official has pointed to the ground and said that ball is down, it will not be reviewed.
That's correct.
Well, and they did. That's what he did. So in the replay booth, they're saying, hey, we don't even talk about that. Intercepted
at the 20-yard line.
Kelso.
Mark Kelso. And he is wrestled down at the 39 as time expires after that 20-yard return by Mark Kelso.
Look at that balloon hat on Kelso. You see the little extra covering. He's had some concussion problems. That's a foam covering that they put on that helmet to cushion his head.
Why don't they wear it more often? Because they're heavy. We asked him about it, and that's what he told us. It's halftime. Buffalo leads by 4. Close ball game. Bills 10, Patriots 6.
Finally, there's a minivan for kids with parents. And let's face it, we all have them. Yeah. The all-new Oldsmobile Silhouette. Talking radical concept here. Your own window seat. Room for lots of things. And neat stuff to keep your parents from bugging you on long trips. Besides, Silhouette makes them look cool. Right.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile.
Ready, dudes?
And they need all the help they can get. Yeah.
This is the new generation of Olds.
We had all come to enjoy the game that Sunday, but by some chance a rude guy came along. He was drinking and swearing. The fans were getting angry. This guy did not know right from wrong. So the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. The people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
I'm Nolan Cromwell. When we root for our team, we can all be winners if we leave the action to the players on the field and not in the stands. Don't you rock the boat.
The fans don't like a spoiler. They want to keep the game on a happy note. Sit down, you're rocking the boat.
I'm Jim Kelly, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, asking you not to rock the boat. Remember to be courteous and considerate to your fellow fans. Don't party too hard before or during the game, and drive home safely after the game. Don't you rock the boat.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. NFL Live halftime activities will continue after these messages from your local station.
Tuesday.
That girl's on crack.
Killer drugs hit the streets.
There's a crack operation in town.
Let's do it. And Gillespie fights to kick the crack out of Sparta in the heat of the night. Then
I have nowhere else to turn.
Jack protects a sex-abused daughter.
Not a child molester.
Becoming embroiled in a legal battle.
Where is that child?
Midnight Caller following Matlock and Heat of the Night, Tuesday.
Okay, well, I don't want to spend a lot of money. And I want V6 performance. And, oh yeah, plenty of room for a night out with the girls. Maybe power windows and locks, you know, just a couple of little things. And
how about an automatic transmission at no charge?
Yes, thank you. That is what I'm looking for.
Now with up to $400 cash back or an automatic transmission at no extra charge from your good neighbor Chevrolet Geo dealer. We've got what you're looking for.
Hey, Bob. Nice apron. How you been?
Not bad, not bad. Say, how do you like your steak?
Medium, Bob, medium.
Whoops. Marv, glad you can make it. Say, how do you like your steak?
Well done, Bob. Burn it.
Coming right up.
Oops. Bob, make mine rare.
You got it.
Oops. It's the 9X Yellow Pages sweepstakes. We'll be calling thousands of people to play. So be prepared. The grand prize is $25,000.
Donate a new toy. Make our Christmas wish come true for kids' sake.
Okay, we welcome those of you watching the Miami, Dallas, and Buffalo, New England games. Bob Costas along with O.J. Simpson. How about the Dolphins right at the end? It's the second time they've done that this year. In the first Jet game, they threw up a Hail Mary just before halftime and scored. And here, 48 from Marino to Andre Brown.
I can't help but feel sorry for Jimmy Johnson, the Dallas coach, because they have totally outplayed Miami in the first half. I think David Shula, who used to call the plays for the Miami Dolphin offense, he's now with Dallas. I think he understands Dallas's passing game, and they were totally prepared. I mean, Miami's passing game, and they were totally prepared for Miami today because they were doing a super job against Marino until that last play before the half. They threw up a Hail Mary, something you can't prepare for. It's just who wants the ball the most. Andre Brown goes up, he catches a pass, they score. They did the same thing last week when they were getting beat in the first half against the Jets, and they came back and ate the Jets up in the second half. And I got a bad feeling that Miami is going to come out in the second half and sort of put it to Dallas.
We're going to show you that play again in just a moment, but quickly through the scores. Cleveland at home against Kansas City. Marty Schottenheimer's return. Cleveland has held Christian Okoye, the league's leading rusher, to 10 carries for 20 yards. Matt Barr drills a 40-yard field goal just seconds before halftime. Cleveland with the lead, 3-0. Steve Pallure goes down with a knee injury for Kansas City, and DeBerg is in at quarterback. They've just gone to halftime in Cincinnati, and the Bengals are in front of Detroit, 28-7. Boomer Esiason with 2 touchdown passes in a 28-point second quarter for the Bengals, who have lost 4 of their last 5, and they're picking a good time to get it back in gear because the next 2 weeks they're at Buffalo and at Cleveland, and they're just 500 now at 5-5 in the AFC Central. San Diego playing at Pittsburgh and the Chargers on a Jim McMahon touchdown pass to Anthony Miller of 20 yards, offsetting a pair of Gary Anderson field goals for the Steelers. San Diego leading in a battle of 4-6 teams, 7-6 at the half. Now in the game Juice was talking about, Miami playing at Dallas and creeping back into it at 14-10, scoring just before halftime. A look at some of the highlights. David and Don Shula, son and father, shaking hands just before the game. Now here's Dallas grabbing the lead on a Broderick Sargent touchdown plunge of 1 yard in the first quarter. It caps an 81-yard scoring drive. They go up 14-3 when Troy Aikman, with lots of time, finds Darrell Johnston for the 6-yard touchdown. It looks like they'll have an 11-point lead, and Jimmy Johnson is happy, but here it is. 1 second to go. Marino backpedals.
Marino lets
and he heaves it up there. Look at all the bodies there. Who comes down with it on the jump ball? Andre Brown, 48-yard touchdown. They kick the point after, and they close to within 4 at the half at 14-10. Buffalo and New England, the game some of you are watching. Thurman Thomas with the 3-yard touchdown run early in the game. Buffalo leading 10-6. The Bills surviving a couple of fumbles. The Patriots recovering 2 of them, one by Thomas and another on a kickoff by Don Beebe deep in Buffalo territory, but in each case settling for a Jason Starowski field goal, so it could have been worse for the Bills. At 7-3, they lead the 3-7 Patriots 10-6 at the half. Minnesota gets a 93-yard kickoff return on the game's first play from Herschel Walker. They then miss the extra point, so the Vikings settle for a 6-3 lead at halftime at the Vet. Steve DeLine is the new kicker after they cut Luis Sendejas a few weeks ago, I should say, for Philadelphia, and they have missed 3 field goals in the first half. 1 blocked, 2 others missed, so Philadelphia could have the lead. Instead, they trail 6-3 in this one at the half. Tampa Bay playing at Chicago. The Buccaneers have lost 5 in a row. In fact, they haven't won since they beat the Bears in Tampa, and they lead this one at Soldier Field 10-3 at halftime. And the Atlanta Falcons, who have won 3 consecutive home games and are much tougher than their 3-7 record indicates, leading the 5-5 New Orleans Saints 10-3 halftime in Atlanta. When we come back, a preview of the upcoming game between the Raiders and the Oilers from the Astrodome. We'll check with Ahmad Rashad and Don Criqui as the halftime show continues right after these messages.
Start your holiday Monday. Alf expects the celebration of the year.
Toga! Toga!
Until a couple of uninvited guests appear.
Get in the kitchen and hose down your mother.
Then on the Hogan family.
My video is a turkey.
But Mrs. Poole has discovered nearly cooks David's goose. Start your holiday fun with Alf and the Hogans Monday.
Sometimes the most important reasons for choosing a health plan are the little ones. Independent Health. Quality coverage you can depend on.
Catch the excitement of Sports Extra, Sunday at 11:30, only on Channel 2.
Okay, welcome back to our NFL Live studios in New York. Coming up on the second half of today's NBC doubleheader, many of you will see the Raiders travel to the House of Pain in Houston for a must-win game against the Oilers. These two teams like to play it rough, so let's check with Don Criqui and Ahmad Rashad, the bad boys of broadcasting, who'll cover the action in the Astrodome. Don?
Good afternoon, Bob. The Astrodome quiet right now, but it won't be for long. Listening to the pregame comments from these two teams, the Astrodome's going to be a war zone today. They're talking about hand-to-hand combat and all that good stuff.
Well, it's an interesting situation because the Oilers have that attitude, and they just got the attitude when Jerry Glanville got here. That's in the last 4 or 5 years. But when you talk about the Raiders, not only do they have the attitude, but they also have a mystique, and that mystique comes from them being one of the winningest sports organizations in the history of sports. And when I talked to some of the players that'll be playing here yesterday about how this game's going to go, this is what they had to say.
This team has Cincinnati ability. They have athletes that rival the Bengals, but they play the game a little bit more like us. And somebody could get mugged today.
There's going to be grabbing, holding, pushing. There's going to be extracurricular stuff on the side, you know, some remedial stuff after the game probably, you know. Yeah, that's football, though, and that's what it's supposed to be all about. If you don't like seeing blood, don't come to the game this week.
I'm pretty nervous. You know, that's it's a scary thought. No, you know, they keep talking about, you know, there being the new Raiders and all this, and, you know, we're the Raiders.
I think they're kind of has-beens as far as, you know, that image. I think that was back when, you know, they had all those other guys playing for them. I think that image is kind of gone. I think we are kind of the bad boys in the NFL. I think we've kind of taken over that image.
We're not the kind of guys that are going to back down from anybody. You could tell by watching us play this year. We're really willing to stand up and fight against anybody we come up against. And if they're going to do that, fine.
We built up a reputation ourselves, and they're trying to get back to their type of football, which you know, people have been comparing to us or comparing us to them.
Really, it has to come from the players. I think a coach, you know, you can't take a putty butt and turn him into a trained killer. Your players have to have that inside of them to play that way.
A putty butt?
Yeah, you know, a guy that, one of them, you know, a California guy, a beach guy, you know, a guy that goes surfing.
And Bo Jackson here, he can surf without a board. They asked Glanville about are the Oilers dirty, and he said, well, we're not the dirty, but we do live on the edge. And big story developing with the quarterback. Looks like Berline's going to be back, Ahmad.
Well, in talking to the players on the Raiders, they feel like Berline is their guy. He's the guy that comes in and gives them a lot of confidence. But the key thing here, he's got a bad knee, and the way the Oilers play, the Raiders are going to have to protect Berline for him to be effective.
Last year when they played, it was one of the best games of the year. The Oilers winning on the last play over the Raiders, 38-35. So we're expecting more of the same. Now back to New York and Bob Costas.
All right, Don, but one question here for Ahmad. You've spent the last couple of days in Houston. Now, Don just said that Glanville admits that his team is close to the edge of dirty. So will Glanville admit that a couple of years ago when I asked him about that, you know, it was a legitimate question. Is Glanville ready to smoke the peace pipe with me? That's my question.
Bob, you keep trying. You keep trying. He's upset at you. And he's never going to get over it. He wants you to put on a football uniform so he can have you go out there and play against his boys.
Well, that's out of the question. However, if Glanville would like to come here to the studio, I'm sure we can settle our differences.
You know one thing, Bob?
Yeah.
Bo Jackson, talking about Bo Jackson is the type of guy. His impact on this team is just like the impact that a guy that used to play for Buffalo, who now is an old broken-down dude, sitting next to you. But when you have a great player like that on your team, it makes everybody play better. And Bo Jackson is doing the same thing for this this L.A. Raider team as O.J. Simpson did in Buffalo.
All right, Don, Ahmad, thanks. O.J., your thoughts?
Well, I thank Ahmad for remembering this broken-down old running back. I agree with him. Bo Jackson has turned this Raider team around. Also, I think Howie Long playing the ball that he used to play has really helped the situations there. Now, this is going to be a grudge match. I have visions in the preseason when these two teams play. I can see Bruce Davis, a former Raider, blocking Craig Townsend, knocking him to the ground. And when Townsend was down, Bruce Davis just drilled him into the ground. I was standing on the sideline when Townsend came to the sideline at that preseason game, and Townsend said, man, these guys, I don't know what's with these guys. They're trying to hurt us, but we got to play them this season. We're going to get even. So I expect this to be a bloodbath down there.
A bloodbath?
Yeah, I think they're going to be, the flags are going to be flying everywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of guys kicked out of the game today.
Well, that sets the stage. So later today, many of you will see that game from Houston, while others will see the Seahawks at the Giants. A doubleheader day on NBC. It is no place for the weak of heart. We'll continue in a moment.
Tonight, it's 1 Barry Bostwick, 2 Haley Mills.
Are you sure? Trust me.
And 3 real-life triplets.
They're like sisters for real?
Driving the island coconut.
What's that? Okay.
Okay. It's a panic in paradise. What? With Disney's all new.
That sounds very exciting.
Parent Trap Hawaiian honeymoon.
Excellent.
Then when the stork arrives,
You're going to have a brand new mommy.
Sister Kate gets baptized.
Sister Catherine has gone plain bonkers.
And they're all singing the blues. Then will Joey's example to teens backfire?
No problem. Ready for a date?
On My Two Dads.
Problem.
And it started with murder.
Killer was a hired gun.
You hated your father, did you not?
I didn't kill him.
I can't actually prove I did do it.
This gun.
I assume that you did it.
Is it not true that you and your stepmother...
Yes. Are you making this up as you go along?
I've no further questions.
An all-new Perry Mason, Case of the All-Star Assassin. It's Parent Trap, Sister Kate, My Two Dads, and Perry Mason tonight.
That's fine. That's fine.
Welcome back. It is Buffalo 10, New England 6. We're in halftime. And Merlin, at the beginning of the show, we talked about motivation. First, the motivation for the Buffalo Bills.
Not highly motivated, Charlie. They have not been playing bad football, but not the kind of inspirational football that they've been playing in their last 5 ball games.
What about New England?
New England, we talked at the top of the show, the 2 things that they needed most if they were going to win this game. They needed to force some turnovers. They've done that. They forced 2 Buffalo fumbles deep in Buffalo territory. However, they were only able to get field goals. They did not get touchdowns. If they had been able to get the touchdowns, it would have been a different game.
And now we're ready for the kickoff as we start the second half. Jason Starofsky will be kicking off. Flip Johnson. No, that's Don Beebe and Ronnie Harmon are the deep backs on the return. And Harmon is really nailed.
Tatupu again, Charlie.
These halftime statistics are brought to you by Coors.
Look at the rushing yardage, Charlie. And 51 yards of the Patriot yardage belonging, of course, to John Stevens. And we said Stevens had to have a big day if he was going to keep his team, help keep his team in contention today.
And Buffalo goes to work as we open the second half from their own 26-yard line. And it is TT Thurman Thomas, the ball carrier. And he'll go out to close to the 35-yard line. So he'll pick up 8 yards on the play.
Add that 8 to the 55 yards on 16 carries that he had in the first half. So Thomas playing extremely well. There you go, 63 yards. Now that's quicker than I could do it in my head, Charlie. Carol Larson doing a great job.
We're adding it up and calculating and the whole thing. Second down and 2. Larry Kennebrew. And this has been the successful 1-2 punch of the Buffalo Bills. First down at the 40.
Early in the game, we put up Marv Levy's 4 keys to success. The first of those keys, run the football and stop the run. What does Marv Levy do when he comes out of the locker room? He said, let's reestablish our control of the line of scrimmage. The Bills coming out running the football. Looks a little like a bulldog, doesn't he? Kind of bulldog tough.
First down at the 40. And Thurman Thomas. And he's got 5 yards to the 45. Sims and Goad with the tackle.
Thurman Thomas, by the way, went to school at Oklahoma State, where he was a teammate for 3 years and a roommate for 2 years of Hartley Dykes, the #1 pick for the Patriots. I asked him about Dykes. I said, a bit of a character? He said, character? You haven't heard yet. He said, I did leave him in charge when I left, though. So, good relationship between the 2 of them.
And when we saw Dykes in practice yesterday, he had reversed his warm-ups. So he had the white showing outside rather than gray, and we asked him, he said, well, gray is so dull.
Styling a little bit. A little style.
Second and 5, and here comes the blitz.
Little hitch pattern outside.
Complete to Andre Reed. McSwain with the tackle.
You throw a pass out there to Andre Reed, it's negative yardage when he first touches the ball, but what you're counting on is the running ability of Andre Reed, and he has made some huge plays this year for the Bills with his running ability. Watch him here. This is good play by McSwain, Rod McSwain, number 23. You saw Andre Reed beat him for a big pass earlier in the game. McSwain, who has been a starter at times in his career, lacks confidence. The Bills would like to exploit that today.
Third down and 1. Kelly from the shotgun in the air, incomplete. Andre Reed, the intended receiver. Good defensive play by Maurice Hurst. I'm a little surprised. 3rd and 1 when you've got Thomas and Kennebrew and you go to the air.
Well, Charlie, you don't want to become predictable. This is certainly an unpredictable call, and those are sure hands. Maurice Hurst's hand, Hurst had his hand right up in the middle. He was able to strip that ball away. That's just great defensive play. Without he hurt his hand too, Charlie, in the process.
Great defensive play, but it's smarts. John Kidd will be kicking to Errol Tucker. And he drops it, picks it up. And then it goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Flag drop back at the 45.
I think by slowing down that kick, an ineligible man left downfield. The players in the middle, yes.
Right.
Now what happens is that they have learned to time that out. They know how long it takes John Kidd to kick.
Illegal man downfield, number 63 on the kicking team.
They'll refuse
they
it.
declined the penalty.
Now all they did is they said, how long does it usually take him to kick? 1,001, 1,002, away I go. Watch and see what happens. Just goes right through his hands.
When it's cold like today and it is dry, the ball is slick. Problems with a slick football. Back in a moment.
There is a point at which all things must evolve. For small cars, that point is here. Introducing the Mazda Protege, a small car that's expansive in room, powerful, and born of Kansei engineering, so the way it feels will change the way you feel about small cars. The new Protege from Mazda.
It just feels right.
If you feel life's more interesting when you make a splash.
It's the right beer now.
If you feel a great beer starts with great water.
It's the right beer now.
Because you're the kind of person who likes to get to the bottom of things. Call for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. It's the right beer now. Good night, Andy.
It's 8:47. It's 22 degrees. And Andy Cavanna's father is learning all about his antifreeze.
Dad, where are you?
The hard way. Don't push your luck. Guarantee it with Advanced Formula Prestone.
This is Charlie Jones, Merlin Olsen, 11:55, time remaining here at Sullivan Stadium in the third quarter. Buffalo 10, New England 6. New England's first opportunity with the football in the second half.
One play away from going ahead in this game. All they need is a big one, Charlie.
Stevens comes out running and breaks about 3 tackles and falls forward to the 34-yard line. He's got 9. It'll be second down and 1.
Some fine blocking up front. Middle of that offensive line. Babb at center going over on the double team. That's Paul Fairchild, 66, 62. Farrell getting good blocking, but more than anything else, it's the balance of number 44, John Stevens. Smurlus getting pushed outside by Farrell. And look who's inside. Almost made the play. Bruce Smith. Such great outside-in pursuit. He is tough.
Perryman picks up the first down. Stevens, 13 carries, 60 yards rushing. And the Patriots have a first down.
All right, Raymond has made his call. Flutie is... Now, a lot of the calls that Flutie will make are in shorthand. Quarterbacks, well, that's not shorthand, that's longhand. The quarterbacks
shorthand.
The quarterback,
small hand.
Well, the quarterbacks were allowed to develop their own signals. Now, this is a running play because he's asking Bobby Greer about it. So it's a running play, I think.
Not an allusion to the height of the man sending in the signals.
Yeah, and it is a running play.
You're right.
Sure enough.
Have you diagnosed this?
Well, Charlie, I don't think it was that tough. He talked to to Bobby Greer about the signals on that play. I would think that this is a weakness of this system. Let's see now. Now, Raymond Berry calling a play here. Raymond Berry calls, he said, a couple of plays during the game. He is calling this play himself. Now, you see him talking right there to Flutie. Flutie doing the shorthand. That's like the old telegraph operators beating the signals out, Charlie.
Or the third base coach.
Well, he's looking down, but I think that's camouflage. I think it's a passing play here, I would guess.
Second and 3?
No. Now Raymond pulled a... Raymond can call either pass or run himself.
Close to the first down.
Let's let you call this one at home.
Oh, no, that's it. All right, and you call and I'll call. Okay. I've got my call. I got my call.
Yeah.
He's praying for the first down. I've got it so far. I got a lock on this one.
They're measuring. The reason we're all waiting is because they're measuring for the first down, and they're saying it's about an inch short.
Okay. It's a run. It's a run. It's a run.
Maybe that's give the Buffalo defense a headache. As I said, the quarterbacks themselves develop the signals, and Raymond asked them to do that. He said, you develop them, and the coaches will learn them. So they do the signaling. Flutie will do it when he's on the sideline. Grogan will do it if Flutie is on the field, and he is on the sideline.
2 tight ends.
Third and an inch, Charlie. I hope so.
First down. Perryman. Into Buffalo territory. Bruce Armstrong, number 78, the offensive right tackle, has been limping just a bit. He stays in the ball game, comes up limping after almost every play. A couple of years ago, when he took the test that all the rookies take, the intelligence test, he tested highest of any potential NFL football player.
Very bright, very agile, big man. I think he should be a left tackle rather than a right tackle.
Perryman.
Good run by Perryman.
And he'll pick up about 6. It'll be second down. And let's take a look at the scores around the National Football League. Kansas City leading Cleveland. Oh, there's an interesting one in the third. Cincinnati ahead of Detroit as expected. San Diego, Pittsburgh, they're battling close. That's expected. Dallas still leading Miami, 14-10. Minnesota in front of Philadelphia by 3. Tampa Bay still leads Chicago by 7. New Orleans and Atlanta, they're tied. This time the score is 10-10. And here it is Buffalo 10 and New England 6. Second down, sweep to the near side with John Stevens. Flag is down, and Stevens is down.
Stevens has enough for the first down, but it looks like a holding call against the New England Patriots. Two guards, Fairchild and Farrell. Well, no, it's not against.
Face mask against the Bills.
When the flag goes down in that area of the field, we normally anticipate the holding call. This will go against the Bills.
The play went to the 35. If they added to the end, it'll go to the 30.
Good job of leading that sweep by the two guards.
Number 76 on our defense grabbed the face mask. 5-yard penalty at the end of the run.
Grabbing the face mask of center Mike Babb.
And it's a first down at the Buffalo 30. And the Patriots trail by 4. Buffalo leads it 10-6. Midway in the third. Here's Perryman. And Perryman inside the 25 to the 24. 6 yards, second and 4. Key block, Bruce Armstrong, the man who has been limping.
There are not many fullbacks on a play designed to go inside. It's designed to go inside the block right there, Stevens. Perryman takes it outside and does a great job of getting out there. Armstrong, 78, good block on the play. Bentley, number 50, there to make the stop, but it's an excellent game. That's some great maneuvering by the big fullback.
Stevens, nice move. He's running today like he did during his rookie season. 18-yard line, first down.
Getting up a little slowly. Good block, number 34, Perryman, right there. Nails his man, and good job inside. Sean Farrell pushing hard to open the way. That's just good, hard play up front. That whole offensive line of Armstrong, Fairchild, Babb, Farrell, and Villa doing a good job of opening the way. The big fullback doing a good job on his own, Perryman, for Stevens.
First down at the 18. Perryman. Have they found a weakness on the defensive left side? They go back to it time and time again.
Charlie, I go back to what I said earlier. the play of the Bills has not been inspired today. They have played some inspired football over the last 5 weeks, and they've had flashes today. But I'm sure that, well, you see the concern. Levy is not happy with what he's seeing out there. I'm sure that Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator, equally unhappy. This has been a long, sustained drive, and it's just man-to-man. I mean, they're just they're taking charge of the line of scrimmage.
Current drive, 10 plays, 57 yards. There has not been a pass on the drive, and the time, 6:05.
Touchdown.
It's there. Patrick Egu, the rookie free agent from Nevada, Reno, 15 yards out.
Levy said you need to run the football and stop the run.
His first NFL carry. His first touchdown. What a moment to remember for Patrick Egu. Extra point is there. New England has the lead.
Egu in for John Stevens. Explodes behind another excellent block by 34 Perriman. Gets out of Kelso's grasp.
If you don't want to slow down on your way to the top. It's the right beer now. Because you know to make a beer as refreshing as a mountain stream, you got to start with a mountain stream. It's the right beer now. When a night on the town might last all night, call for the taste preferred at better night spots. The Silver Bullet, the one that won't slow you down. It's the right beer now.
Now that you know what it feels like to move in the MX-6 Sports Coupe, sit in the saddle. The MX-6 from Mazda.
Save up to $1,000 on a 1990 Mazda MX-6 now.
Did you know if you're an MCI, Execunet, or a Sprint Dial 1 customer and your business spends over $50 a month, you could be in the wrong plan. You can save money with the new AT&T Pro Watts, and we're going to make it easy. We're so sure that you'll see the difference. We'll pay to sign you up. We'll pay to switch you over, and if you're not satisfied within 90 days, we'll even pay to switch you back. All you have to do is call us, 1-800-222-0400. New AT&T Pro Watts, another AT&T advantage.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Coors Light. Pure brewed in the Rockies, the Silver Bullet won't slow you down. It's the right beer now. By Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. And by the First Brands Corporation, makers of Prestone Advanced Formula Antifreeze.
We're back at Sullivan Stadium, a little regrouping now by the kickoff team. They thought we were ready to go. We weren't quite ready to go. 11 plays, all rushes.
Jason Starofsky's been home for a little while. He forgot he had to wait for the official to hold up his hand.
That's right. Harmon and Beebe are deep, and it is Don Beebe on the return, and he goes out about the 28-yard line.
Charlie, the big block on that last play, and there were several, but watch Villa and Sean Farrell double team here. They drive those two people off the ball so far that they cut off the pursuit. And it's that cutting off of that backside pursuit that allows Ego and Alley to run in and get upfield.
And as he strides to the end zone with his first NFL touchdown, we'll stride to a commercial break.
In a world of distractions and unexpected turns, a car should be like a friend you don't have to talk to. The Mazda 626 is engineered to feel just that way, with the ability to make you feel in control. At the same time, it makes you feel relaxed. The 626 from Mazda.
Save up to $1,000 on a 1990 Mazda 626 now.
It's the right beer now.
But not now.
It's the right beer now.
But definitely not now.
Coors Light, it's the right beer now.
And absolutely positively not now. No way.
Come on, Jimmy, let me get your cab, huh?
Because there are no unimportant parts.
When we talked to Marv Levy last night, he told us great teams win the games they're supposed to win and know how to win on the road.
Well, this is a test of both of those theories because he's talking about teams that you play that are under the 500 level. At 3-7, New England is one of those.
Kelly comes out throwing, stopped mid-stream on a screen pass. It would have been intercepted. That's an unbelievable play by a quarterback to start to throw, pull it back, and then complete it. And he picks up 15 yards at a first down.
Have you ever tried to stop in the middle of a backswing playing golf? Kelly does the same thing here. Has the ball almost released, pulls it back. Great control, and you're right, Charlie. It would have been knocked away. Thomas certainly has had a big day. Continues with this run. And that's like a long handoff out there. That'll go into the passing yardage, but that's just like a running play.
Buffalo now at their own 45-yard line. They open it up. Kelly comes to the near side.
James Lofton.
And the speedster has another first down. Back-to-back first downs, New England 44-yard line.
Lofton, one of the great receivers all time. Bottom of your screen, just kind of coasting down there, putting Maurice Hurst to sleep a little bit. Then he knows how to run. When he first came to Buffalo, I asked Marv Levy, this happened just before the first New England game. I said, how fast is he? He said, he popped our eyes. He ran a 4.4 and a 4.42. I said, you're kidding. He said, no. So Lofton still with great speed.
Kelly now 12 of 22, 177 yards.
He'll go deep. Great
catch. Andre Reed. Maurice Hurst had the coverage. He's got 19 yards, first down. Been bothered a bit, he told us last night, by tendonitis of the knees. Didn't bother him on that play.
Well, he said he's been so sore after every game, Charlie. This is a very hard turf. His legs will be sore through the early part of the week, but he'll enjoy watching that one. And you see the concentration on the sideline. Andre Reed, an excellent and well-disciplined receiver. With 4 catches and 80 yards thus far in the ballgame. That's his second big catch of the day. 2 really large ones.
First down at the 24. Over the middle, this pass is complete to Keith McKellar. And now with that play, Buffalo's play selection goes to the 500 mark. 24 rushes and 24 passes.
When you talk to the Buffalo Bills about their play selection, and you ask them about the fact that they have run the ball very heavily during the past few weeks, they say that's because we've been able to do that. We've been able to control the football. Well, their decision here was, we're having trouble controlling the football, we'll switch it away. And look what they've done. 3 weeks, 7, 8, and 10, they were over 50 rushes. That's almost unheard of. Well, they haven't been able to do it so far in this ball game. It's not working as well as they wanted it to.
Back to the ground. Here's Thomas. Good defensive play. They string him out of bounds. Rembert and James were there for New England. And he'll lose about 4. And in this drive, which started back in the 29-yard line, that's the first running play.
A response, perhaps, too, emotionally, to that scoring drive of New England. But Kelly needs to do something, and this is something else he's done very well during this year. One of the knocks at Kelly early in his career at Buffalo was he could get the team down inside the 20, couldn't get it into the end zone. He's become much more proficient at that during this year. They'd like to see him successful here.
Lofton, Harmon, and Reed are the wide receivers. And that's Lofton in the left corner. That's a flag down and a fumble. New England has the ball, but we do have a flag down.
That ball thrown, or the flag thrown right at the feet of Kent Hull, number 67. The ball knocked away from Kelly before he lifted his arm to throw the pass. But if it's a penalty, it'll be moved back.
Brent Williams was there for New England. Here's the call.
Number 67 on the offense, declaring the penalty. First down.
Watch number 96.
A holding call thrown right there, but it's not going to affect the play. Ball is fumbled and recovered by Brent Williams right there. Huge play.
If you feel life's more interesting when you make a splash,
It's the right beer now.
if you feel a great beer starts with great water,
It's the right beer now.
because you're the kind of person who likes to get to the bottom of things, call for the Silver Bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
If you have a house as messy as this, and a son as helpful as this, get a shop vac. Look at the power this baby's got. A shop vac wet dry picks up everything from nails and wood chips to broken glass to gallons of water.
Thanks for the car, Dad.
Yep, there's no telling when you'll need the power of a shop vac.
Now, Shop Vac introduces Spot Check for tough carpet stains. Spot Check turns any shop vac into a powerful carpet cleaner.
Those chicken little sandwiches are ecstasy. Kentucky nuggets suit me to a T. And don't forget that original recipe chicken.
Cross the road, Jack. Kentucky Fried Chicken's got more.
Cross the road, Jack.
Kentucky Fried Chicken's got more.
The product, the proving grounds, the results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
NBC Sports serves your need to know all week long. Dial 1-900-454-3500 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the USA.
Takeaways are important, but just as important is what do you do with them?
There are the numbers right there. Buffalo has taken the ball a couple of times on interceptions, no points. New England, 3 turnovers, 6 points, and this turnover has given them another opportunity.
This one is number 3. From the 21-yard line, Robert Perryman. And who would have believed at this time yesterday afternoon, with 2:53 and counting time remaining in the third quarter, that the New England Patriots would have the ball. They would have it at their own 23-yard line, but they would also have the lead of 13-10.
Raymond Berry.
he was a believer when we talked to him yesterday. Got a little testy with me when I suggested that
yes, he did, Charlie.
Things might not be going as much his way as he thought they would be. John Stevens, maybe he knows more than we realize.
Charlie, I have been around the game long enough to appreciate the letdown, the unconscious letdown, if you will, of a team that looks and examines all of the problems, all the injury problems, and maybe we can show you those. The number of players that have been knocked out of play for Raymond Berry's team. And you look at that and say, not only are those, not only are the numbers huge, but those are all the best players. I mean, basically the people that they're most worried about.
He's played very, very well against the AFC, 28-8, 2-3 this year. Stevens, 81 yards rushing and 18 carries. Grogan throwing. Hasn't thrown that much. It is complete. Oh, it is fumbled. And picked up after a double bounce and fumbled again. Antrim getting it back. No, Buffalo has the ball.
Do they? I'm not so sure, Charlie. Yes, 38 Kelso ends up with the football. 3 players had it. It bounced right back up into the hands of Hartley Dykes for a moment. Somebody reached over and slapped the back of the ball, knocked it out. Hartley Dykes drops it. Let's watch the play. That's Sutton following closely here. Dykes with the catch. Sutton reaches in right there, swats the ball. Watch it come right back up. Hartley Dykes has it again. Odom swats it away the second time.
Antrim, Glenn.
Antrim has his hands on it, and Kelso steals it. Boy, that's one for the football follies, Charlie. And Hartley Dykes has dropped 2 footballs today. That's the 3rd time, and he is very angry at himself on the sideline, and well, he should be. You've got to lock that football up.
Buffalo from the 47. They're going to go long immediately to cash in. They have a man. It is there. 6-yard line, maybe the 5. James Lofton. 48 yards, Buffalo at the 6 of New England.
Well, there's a man who just dropped the pass, and there's a man who just caught one. I mentioned the speed moments ago. He still has it. Look at him run away from McSwain, 23, and number 31, Fred Marion. Ball slightly underthrown, or it would have been a touchdown, Charlie.
And it's first down, goal to go at the 6.
And how quickly those turnovers change the complexion of a game. That's Irving Fryer sitting next to Hartley Dykes, consoling him. Touchdown. Well, almost a touchdown. Right on the goal line. They're going to mark it on the half-yard line. Number 83, Andre Reed again. Kelly getting good protection inside. Hurst there. Reed settling down. Good call by the officials who marked that on the 3-yard line. Kelly completing the last 6 passes that he has thrown.
And we come to the end of the 3rd quarter. New England leads by 3, but that may not last very long. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hit the road, Jack, and if you don't like them, we'll buy them back.
Road Handler Treadlocks. Test them for 1,000 miles. If you don't agree they're the toughest tires you've owned, Sears will buy them back.
Hit the road, Jack.
Road Handler Treadlocks at Sears. Tough tires you can trust.
What you say?
Xerox presents the Great American Torture Test. We challenged the bone-numbing cold of northern Alaska and passed with flying colors. Xerox, because extreme conditions demand extreme protection.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Thanks to Radio Shack, next year we'll be quieter around here. Speakers are half price, so Greg can rock in his room. And there's a $14.88 phone for Tina's private conversations. $8.95 action games for the carpool. Bob keeps busy with a mobile CB, just $79.95.
And with a pocket calculator at $8.88, the savings add up. Thanks, Radio Shack.
The Christmas electronics sale, only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
The Raiders. The Oilers. Black and blue. Next.
The change of events, the change of emotions, it can happen so quickly in the National Football League. We've seen a perfect example of it here.
Charlie Hartley Dykes breaking loose for what appeared to be a touchdown, drops the football, although he did have help. That ball was slapped. And then on the other side, great catch by Lofton. Now, that emotionally, that's just an up and down ride. But the Bills need to capitalize. They were down in territory moments ago, looking at the end zone. They couldn't get it in. They're down on the 1-yard line, the half-yard line now.
Closer.
They need to punch this one in.
This is just, as you always call it, smash mouth football right here.
Smash mouth, and you got to look for Kinnebrew down here. The big bull at 260 pounds. Will it be Kinnebrew? Well, they got the big men in there. Jamie Mueller is in there too, number 39. That's an elephant backfield.
And it's Kinnebrew. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Jamie Mueller, 6'1", 230 pounds, lined up at fullback, and Larry Kinnebrew, 6'2", 260, and a few, lined up at the tailback position, right in behind that big offensive line. And watch the pile move here. Woof. That's power.
Buffalo regains the lead. The extra point attempt, a 53-yard drive in 3 plays. It's getting a little colder. My lips are beginning to get cold. They're not moving so quickly. The extra point is good. And it is Buffalo 17, New England 13. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
It started with murder.
This gun.
I didn't kill him. I assumed that you did it.
An all-new Perry Mason, case of the all-star assassin, tonight.
Well, I know Geo Prism is the best of Japanese and Chevrolet engineering. Has front-wheel drive and four-wheel disc brakes. I know the 16-valve engine really gets me around town. I know the Prism's warranty covers everything for 3 years or 50,000 miles. And if you own an import, you can get up to $1,400 back. And they say women don't know cars.
See the Geo Prism at your good neighbor Chevrolet Geo dealer. We've got what you're looking for.
A legend has been created. Not just another battery, but a better battery for the future. Better in reserve power, with up to 2 hours and 25 minutes in reserve. Better in protection, with a warranty that lasts over 6 years into the future. Better in availability, since it's now at over 20,000 Napa outlets. The legend from Napa, a better battery.
AFL Championship Memories in Focus 2 on Channel 2 News, Monday at 6.
This is Charlie Jones, Merlin Olsen. 14 minutes and 58 seconds, time remaining in the game. Scott Norwood of Buffalo will be kicking off to either Kittrick Taylor or Errol Tucker. That's Chris Hale, the cornerback, who is holding. We have a crosswind, but he also tilts the ball on the tee, as you can see, and so have to be extra careful.
Great kick.
And it will go through the end zone for the touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. The highs and the lows. And just a moment ago, Hartley Dykes was in the open. He ended up fumbling the ball, and then this was his expression as Kennebrew went in for the touchdown for Buffalo.
Here's how that play started, Charlie. Sutton reaching in behind, and he actually fumbles twice on the play. Has his hands on the ball, has it clamped away twice, it's knocked away twice. Had a chance to recover it himself. Well, that's a frustrating moment. We said he had bounced one away for an interception early in the game and dropped a sure catch, so it has not been a good day for Hartley Dykes.
Steve Grogan, the quarterback, he has not been sacked today. And he goes to Hartley Dykes. Good play. I like that. He goes right back to him. Let's get back in the ball game. He gets a couple of hits. Now he's got to forget about it. That's a lesson that the rookie has to learn.
Well, Hartley Dykes is the only healthy receiver he's got, Charlie.
He's the veteran receiver, right?
Cedric Jones has been playing, but Cedric is playing with a strained hamstring. Stanley Morgan out with a broken leg earlier in the week. I mean, they have had a rash of injuries that just will not quit.
That's Cedric, number 83. When we talked to him yesterday, I said, you know, you spell it Cedric. You pronounce it Cedric. I said, why? He said, Mother does. That answered it.
Good idea.
Yes. 2nd and 1. John Stevens. Ooh, now, he should have the first down. He should have the first down. All that they have to do is get to the 30-yard line.
Injuries, so much a part of what happens to every team. But look at the starters lost in preseason by the Patriots. Wooten, their most dependable offensive lineman. The 3 best defensive players on this team, Lepet, Tippett, and Garon Veras, as well as Ed Williams, penciled in as a starter. And then let's look at starters losing time during the season. Claiborne and Irving Fryer in white both out for this game. Paul Fairchild has missed a game. Roland James, Tim Jordan, Rod McSwain, John Stevens. You can get a feeling for the desperation that Raymond Berry has felt during this year.
Perryman to the 32-yard line. Chance to do a quick check of the ticker. Cleveland by 3, Cincinnati big, San Diego in front of Pittsburgh. Dallas still leads Miami, and Minnesota in front of the Eagles. Tampa Bay by 3, and Chicago Bears climbing back, and Atlanta has broken their tie with New Orleans. It's 3-3, then 10-10, now 17-12. So a touchdown and a safety. And here it is 17-13. Buffalo leading. Just under 13 and a half to go in the ballgame. And Stevens. I'm surprised they're not throwing. I think in this situation you've got to come out throwing. But when you don't have any receivers, they're still introducing themselves to each other. And when you get in this situation, so when we talked to Steve Grogan, Steve said we'll be, you know, like you did in Sandlot, and you kind of diagrammed it on your chest with the back to the defense, and you go here and you go here.
He may have to do that. As you see, plays being signaled in.
Glenn Antrim, the rookie free agent, Eric Sievers join Cedric Jones and Hartley Dykes as the 4 wide receivers at the 34-yard line. 3rd down and 6.
Bruce Smith had been down on the nose. Now he moves back out on Villa on the outside.
Blitz. And a pass from Juggle.
And another dropped pass by Hartley Dykes, number 88. And Grogan saying, how many times do we have to get you the ball? Boy, that kills you. A quarterback, Grogan, pays with his body for this throw, waits until the last second and takes a real shot. And that is not an easy catch. Let's give Hartley the benefit of that.
And he fought for it, and he fought for it. And look what happened to the quarterback.
Watch what Grogan pays to get this ball off. Takes Hagee, John Hagee, right in the ribs. Now, if I'm willing to do that, he's saying to Hartley Dykes, dang it, catch the ball. Come on.
Well, I use it. The language is close.
Well, I got close.
I got close. Kick is short.
Backing up.
And takes a Buffalo bounce and going to be touched down around the 47-yard line. It's going to be a kick of only 19 yards by Fiegels. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Winning. It's something you can see in the sheet metal, feel in the corners. It's the result of a total design commitment. It's also the result of producing the best-built American cars. And the end result is what you've made us, America's best-selling cars, again this year. Ford, winning across America, winning the world over.
Winning the world over. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Hey, hustlers. I got some more party time tips for you from Extra Gold Draft. First, never party with anything less than the full tilt taste of Extra Gold. Hey, this is one tough beer. Another tip, never shoot pool with a guy that brings his own stick. And never ever shoot with a guy that brings his own table.
Ask for an extra. Go for the full tilt taste.
Nice shot. Thanks.
If you thought you had to give up comfort to get a close shave, Norelco says, think again. Their revolutionary shaving system shaves skin close in a way that's incredibly comfortable. As the hair enters the chamber, the patented lift and cut system lifts each hair and holds it a split second before a blade cuts it, so it's possible to shave skin close without the blades even touching the skin. The lift and cut shaving system from Norelco. We made close comfortable.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Norelco Lift and Cut Shavers. We made close comfortable. And by Extra Gold Draft, the party time beer with a full tilt taste.
Buffalo leads 17-13.
Ted Marchibroda on the sideline. Interesting to see whether he will put it on the airwaves or carry it on the ground. The last couple of drives have exploded with the passing offense, but the best way to control the football is running the football, Charlie. Let's see if Marchibroda elects to try and control it with the running game here.
The key, number 34, Thurman Thomas. When we talked to him last night, he said, in the 4th quarter, I want to run the football.
He's out in the wing position here. He's a wide receiver.
Kelly stumbles, goes down, almost loses the ball, recovers it, and then his touchdown.
Kelly reaching for that right knee, and he told me last night, he said that right knee is still very sore. He's come down a number of times on that knee during the season. He's still got problems with the left shoulder. He gets stepped on by one of his offensive linemen. That's Jim Richer, 51, stepped on his heel. And Kelly just a little late getting out of there. Watch him again. Stepped on right there, can't get his footing, and goes down right on that right knee, and that hurts.
2nd and 17, second time he's been sacked. Goes deep. Ooh. Interesting pattern by Andre Reed. Reed running a deep pattern. Thought that Kelly was in trouble. Broke the pattern off. Came back. Reed read him still to Kelly read him still to go deep, and Reed could not quite recover in time. He saw this kind of pressure, thought he was running out of time, came back to help him.
Talking to Jim Kelly, he said very often a quarterback is hurt worse if he's hit after the throw because he's off balance, as he was there. Almost a great throw and a great catch.
Kelly, 16 of 27, 264 yards. Fred Marion. Jim Kelly has a linebacker's mentality. Here's the screen. It is incomplete. Thurman Thomas.
Well, Marion was a teammate of Kelly's down in Miami. And, of course, Kelly recruited by Joe Paterno at Penn State as a linebacker.
As a linebacker. And we asked him if that story was true, and he said yes. He said the nice thing about Paterno is that he told him, he said, I want you to come into Happy Valley and to be a linebacker. I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm glad, but I'm not coming, Coach.
Kelly also said he liked playing linebacker more in high school than he did quarterback.
Yes, he did.
But he said, I wanted to be a quarterback in college.
Kid kicking. Earl Tucker on the return. He'll get a couple of yards to the 30-yard line. 11 minutes, 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 34 yards on the kick. A 5-yard return. Buffalo by 4.
Hello?
Joan, where are you?
Almost there.
Give your family on-the-road safety and convenience with a Radio Shack mobile phone. Now just $399. You save $300.
Well, a built-in speaker lets me hear and talk to you and keep my hands on the wheel.
That's great.
I'll call you back. My car's stalling.
A 30-number memory gives you instant auto dial, and you'll feel more secure knowing help is just a phone call away. Radio Shack's mobile phone. Easy to install and only $399 at Radio Shack, the technology store.
Ford Ranger STX 4x4. Its new available 160 horsepower engine makes it the most powerful Ranger ever. And only Ford gives you 4-wheel drive at the touch of a button, which makes Ranger something even better. A street machine that isn't confined to the streets. Ford Ranger STX, the toughest competition we have is ourselves.
Save big on all Ford Ranger pickups during November Truck Month at your Ford dealer.
For most of us, the only thing that's more fun than staying home to watch the game is going out to watch the game. So come on down, catch the game this week with Bud and Bud Light, and enjoy all the action on and off the field.
Have mercy. You got it now. The Raiders. The Oilers. Black and blue. Next.
A quarterback comparison, as you can see, Grogan 5 of 14. That matches his number, only 64 yards. Now keep that in mind as you listen to the Patriots play selection. 14 passes. They have run the ball 42 times. So 75% of their offense has been on the ground. And there's still a lot of time, 11:29 remaining.
Grogan threw a Patriot record 59 passes in that comeback against New Orleans last week.
Play action.
Yeah.
Rolls and has time, and he's throwing it away. He could hear the footsteps. A good quarterback can hear and feel as the pressure comes in. A flag is dropped.
Are they saying he grounded the football, or did he get hit out of bounds? Grogan just unloading it here. And there's the hit. You can't do that.
That's right.
Darryl Talley chasing from behind. He could see the ball was out of there.
Hit the quarterback late. 15 yards.
No need for it.
No need at all. The ball was gone, and Talley, who's a smart football player, made a stupid play. When you watch Grogan having trouble running on those legs, it's hard to remember, Charlie, in his second year, he scored 12 running touchdowns. That's 12 running touchdowns. I think the most dangerous running quarterback in football.
In this offensive set, as you scan the huddle, you will see that Mosita Tupu is in, Antrim is in, Stevens is in, Cedric Jones is in, Hartley Dykes, who had the catch and the fumble and the almost catch, is not in the lineup.
Well, I think Raymond is saying, how many times am I going to get burned here? And he's saying, Hartley, sit down and think about it. Ooh, intercepted.
Ricochet off of Stevens, and Carlton Bailey has the interception.
The second time today that Grogan has been intercepted on passes that went right through the hands of receivers. And it's unfair to credit those to a quarterback, but an alert defensive response. Watch the pass here. John Stevens not used much as a receiver. You know why right there. And Carlton Bailey, you got to be ready for those opportunities. He was.
His first career interception, and he tags it with a 17-yard return to the 39-yard line.
He's not injured. He's just giving a little thanks on the sideline.
11-13, time remaining. Kelly to throw. Throws out, stops, throws back, and it will be incomplete to James Lofton. He is out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10 back at the 39. McSwain at the coverage.
Temperature has dropped on the field. Wind continues to blow. With the sun gone, it is getting colder. You'll see Kelly using that warmer pad. Breezes not as strong as they were last week, but still strong enough to affect the flight of the ball and strong enough to drop that chill factor down significantly.
Takeaways and points: Buffalo 4 and 7, New England 3 and 6. 2nd down. Over the middle, pass is complete to Pete Metzelaars, the tight end, 33-yard line. 3rd down. Play selection this half: 5 rushes, 13 passes. Interesting how the first half stayed to the ground, and now when it gets closer behind, you go back to the air.
They wanted to crank it up. They had to get something going, Charlie, and they were able to do it. They've exploded down the field in the second half. Unfortunately, they have not put as many points on the board as those opportunities seem to dictate. So they still need some more to be comfortable.
3rd down and 3. Inside handoff, sweep to the near side with 2 blockers in front. 25, maybe the 24-yard line. It's a 1st down for Thurman Thomas. Gain of 8. Kenneth Sims with a tackle.
Good running backs have the ability to wait for the play to open up. Look at Thomas, just kind of coasting a few strides there. Waits for the block. Sets up the block, in fact, for Joe Devlin. They call him Geritol Joe. They get on his back a little bit over there. And Thomas is having a fine day. 19 runs, 76 yards, continuing the kind of season that he has had in 1989.
1st down at the 25. Thomas to the right side. Slips 1 tackle, and that's it. And remember what I said at the beginning of the 4th quarter when we talked to him? His quote to us was, in the 4th quarter, well, actually, I asked him, do you like running the ball or do you like catching the ball? And he said, well, when I get to the 4th quarter, I want that ball and I want to run with that ball.
And I think you'd find all great backs saying the same thing. Thomas prides himself on his conditioning, and his feeling is that the defense begins to wear down in that 4th quarter, and that's when he can use his strength and his energy to take advantage of it.
And also the fact that Kennebrew is a good hard rusher, takes some of that early pounding off him. Pass is complete. Touchdown.
Whoa.
The man, Thurman Thomas, has 2 in the ball game. 1 by land, the other by air. 25 yards.
He's out as a wide receiver here. And when you have this kind of flexibility, you can let him run from the inside, stretch him out, That's Roland James, number 38, late making the adjustment. They had gone over and doubled up on the two wide receivers to the other side of the field. And Thurman Thomas is not the kind of guy you can ignore in that situation. He proved it with a 7-pointer, 6-pointer. They're looking for the 7.
They're looking for 7. Buffalo Bills busting it open. It's there, and it's Buffalo 24. New England 13 with 8:46 time remaining, and a reminder to our viewers to stay tuned for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. The Seattle Seahawks going against the NFC East leading New York Giants. Immediately following the conclusion of this ball game, and then on Thanksgiving Day, a holiday tradition, football from the Motor City. The Detroit Lions host the hottest team in the AFC, the Cleveland Browns. Bernie Kosar, Webster Slaughter, and friends look to extend their lead in the AFC Central. The Browns battle the Lions, and Heisman Trophy winner Barry Sanders Thanksgiving Day on NBC. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New England Patriots and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League. Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots, all rights reserved. Thurman Thomas, 77 yards rushing, 60 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground and 1 in the air. Harold Tucker and Kidrick Taylor are the return men. Scott Norwood will be kicking off. It's Chris Hale who is holding. And a look at the return men. And it is overcast now, and it is gray, particularly on the New England side of the ledger, as they trail 24-13 after staying very close and leading in the ball game at one time. Taylor on the return. To the 32-yard line.
Charlie, in the midst of all of the changes that Raymond Berry has had to make, he's had to make some phone calls to bring players back. One of those players, Darrell Holmes, number 41. He's had a couple of big plays since he came back. In fact, he came back to the game that we covered up in Buffalo. And when they called him, Raymond Berry reached his father at home. And Darrell was down selling cars down at the local Ford agency in Warner Robins, Georgia. And the thing, his father called him, and he was right in the middle of his first sale. Said he was selling a Ford Ranger truck. He said first chance, father called, he left the sale, jumped up, ran out. Hour later, he was packed. He was on the plane and off and running. We'll tell the rest of the story in just a minute, Charlie.
Grogan to Stevens, and John breaks a couple. 46-yard line of Buffalo.
No huddle. Grogan going quickly.
23 yards on the play.
8:14. They're not wasting any time as they hurry back to the line.
They need 2 touchdowns. Get one in a hurry. Here's the delayed screen on the left side to Stevens.
Look out.
He has it. Down the sideline, it is caught. What a brilliant maneuver. He just kind of walked along, played off of his blockers, looked as if he was going to step outside to stop the clock, shifted gears, 41 yards, 9-yard line, 1st and goal.
You talk about tiptoeing a tightrope. Watch Stevens manage to stay in bounds here. Shane Conlon down. Good block right there on Odoms. Tiptoeing down that sideline. Kelso can't knock him out. Finally, right there, that's Carlton Bailey, 54, that busts him out of bounds. But there is new life for the New England Patriots.
Longest pass reception of Stevens' career. Sean Farrell with a key block. Flags are down. Bailey comes out with the ball.
False start on the offense, but 3 or 4 men were moving before the snap.
That's everybody. And on a false start, you know by now, I mean, there is no play.
Very often, Charlie, that's the center late with a snap. Let's see if it is the center that's late with a snap. Yes. Yeah. Well, and they're lucky. They're very lucky, because had that ball, if it wasn't for the fact that there is no play, false start, there is no play, that would have been considered a fumble.
So it is 2nd down. It's rather 1st down and goal to go, but at the 14-yard line.
Mistake there by Mike Babb, veteran center. He missed the count. Everybody else was off.
Timing pattern into the end zone. Caught.
Hartley
Dykes. He's done it finally. That'll take away some of the pain.
We have talked today, Charlie, about roller coaster emotion, up and down, and for Hartley Dykes, it has been that kind of day and then some. The frustration of early drops of that potential touchdown that he dropped twice. He sat on the bench and thought about it for a while, and then comes back for a touchdown.
69-yard drive, 3 plays. Extra point is good. And the Patriots are right back in it. The margin is 4, 24-20, lots of time, 7:45. Time remaining. This is the 4th quarter. And this is just a timing pattern.
Throwing it to the outside, over the outstretched hands of Kirby. Chance to watch it from the inside. Just a fade pattern. He's just going to take it right down and then fade to the outside. And it's the fade part of this pattern that gives him room to make the catch. He's got Kirby inside right there, and he can lean to the outside and make the catch. Fine pattern and a beautiful throw by Grogan.
So for a moment, it looked as if it might be all over for the New England Patriots.
Charlie, we should have known better. These Patriots were down 21-0 in the first quarter last week against New England and came back to make it close, scoring several times in the final seconds or the final minutes of that game.
3 plays in the drive, just a tick over a minute, and here's the return by Ronnie Harmon. Harmon to the 20, and he's brought down at the 23.
Just as a final add to that New Orleans game, it ended up 28-24, but the seconds left, the New England Patriots, who had already picked up one of their own onside kicks and scored, had a chance to pick up another one. Were not able to do it. Now, right now, Buffalo looking at the clock and saying, that 4 points is not a very secure lead against this team. And in talking to the Buffalo Bills staff, to Marv Levy, to Marcia Broda, to Walt Corey, they all said the same thing. New England frightens you as a team, even when they're hurt.
And here comes the blitz. Kelly's pass is complete. Andre Reed. And notice the play of one of the defenders. I didn't pick him up. He was reaching back, a gain of 21. He was reaching back and trying to slap the ball away.
You want to see fancy footwork? They ought to put this down as a dance. Watch the little dance that Andre Reed does and the way he'll put people down right there. He puts McSwain in the popcorn machine and gets a great block that looked like Metzlar's 88 with a block there, and then does some fancy running on his own. There's the SWAT you talked about. That was Hurst, 37, I think, reaching for that football, Charlie.
Reed, 6 catches, 106 yards over the century mark, first down at the 44. And Kelly has to dump this one off.
I think that's back.
It may be a lateral.
I think it's a lateral. Well, maybe not. It looked like a lateral to me. Very, very close. Maybe we can see it again. Thurman Thomas, the intended receiver.
You won't be able to tell. Well,
maybe we can from the yard line. Let's see where it is. Throws it right on
the 3.
The 37.
Ooh, that looked like a backward pass.
I think it's a backwards pass, Charlie.
Officially, they say forward, but I'm not sure that that's all correct.
Well, it looks forward from that angle.
No, it's backwards. It's a backward.
I believe it's a backward pass, but it's not. Well, and they're going to review it.
Well,
it's not going to change possession, but it will change the spot of the ball.
That's right. I think it's going to be back. I think he'll lose about 3 yards on it.
And of course, this is the kind of play that is reviewable. Now let's look at it again. Again, we would like to have the definitive angle. Look at his feet. Steps up. He's on the 37-yard line. Throws the ball.
See, it's a yard behind. Oh, yeah. It's a yard behind.
Well, that certainly would appear to be thrown at least a yard back.
Follow the end of it. Yes, it was recovered.
Look at the ball.
Wait, the ball was still loose, but at this point, the whistle sounded. At this point, the whistle sounded.
34, yes, Thurman Thomas gets the football.
No, but when the ball was down, the whistle sounded. Everybody stopped because they ruled it an incomplete pass. And it passes to Thurman. Thurman picked up the ball, and he didn't do anything with it.
Charlie, I'd say it's always a good idea if you see the ball on the ground
to fall on it.
Get your hands on it.
That's right.
Now, that's a tough one to rule on because of the angles of the cameras
and,
there.
you know, is it, what is the key word? Irrefutable evidence?
Irrefutable evidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
After review by the replay official, the play stands.
I agree.
I think it has to stand also because of the whistle was blown, and that stops everybody for a possible recovery. I think that's as much as anything. Kelly, 19 of 33. He's thrown for 317 yards.
I think Ben Dreith would have taken that out quickly if he'd had that one, Charlie. Oh, almost.
Incomplete.
What a great pass by Kelly. You talk about great throwing arms. Kelly showing you the strength of his arm there. Threw that ball in a place where only Thurman Thomas could have caught it. And Thomas, again, sliding out as a wide receiver. They're really giving New England fits with this setup.
Oh, what a great defensive play, too,
Bowman.
by Roland James.
Oh, it's James, 38, not 28.
Yeah.
James coming up from that safety position and with that lead hand in front, able to get that hand across and knock that ball down.
Add the numbers on Jim Kelly. 3rd and 10, 6:41, time remaining. The margin is 4. The Bills lead it. He's hit from behind. It's incomplete. Even if it is ruled a fumble, they're going to rule it an incomplete pass. But there's good reaction. The way the strange things we've seen today, if the ball's there, like you said, Merlin, you better get on it.
That's twice today that Kelly's arm has been hit just as it is started forward. The other one, you remember, called a fumble initially and then reversed. Pressure will come from the left-hand side. It's a blitz, right? No, not a blitz. 96 coming from the left-hand side as he's able to break in there. That's Brent Williams putting the pressure on.
John Kidd with the kick. Here comes pressure. He gets it away. Fair catch is called for and taken and then fumbled.
Did he call a fair catch?
Yes, he did. But it's off as soon as he fumbles it.
Yep, he's got to catch it.
Errol
Right.
Tucker, 36 yards on the punt. Now let's check up on. Oh, take a deep breath and you look at the scores, and we will regain our composure. New England at their own 21-yard line. First down, 6 minutes and 27 seconds left.
For those who tuned in late, we'd remind you that Cornelius Bennett went out with a slight knee strain early in this game, has not returned to this ball game. And that has had an impact, I think, on the way this Buffalo defense has played. I think they've been a little vulnerable at times.
Grogan from the shotgun has protection. Comes to the sideline. The pass is complete to Cedric Jones. Kirby Jackson there for the defense.
I mentioned earlier that this Buffalo defense only on the field a little over 18 minutes last week. They've seen much more action than that today.
And now the hurry-up offense, 2nd down and 4. Grogan's pass is a little low, but Stevens has it. Now they'll blow the whistle.
Stevens really unhappy with the little extra activity by Shane Conlon at the end of that play. Ben Dry saying, look, the play is over, and the flag is on the ground.
Personal foul. That'll cost you 15.
That's twice today. The linebackers, Darryl Talley getting the first one, and Marv Levy out there on the field is furious with Ben Dry. And Ben is saying, look, you better stay on the sideline. I'll give you one.
It'll cost you another 15.
You don't want to get those.
Kelly said, no, get back. Get back. Come on.
Foul, 15 yards, defense.
You want to play emotional football, Charlie, but you don't want to let your emotions get you carried away too far. Bang. The play is over. The whistle is blown. Now watch this. It's that extra. Well,
no,
Charlie, I got it. Well, it's that shove right at the end. That's what he got the call for, Charlie.
But it's hard. If we do it in regular speed, you can tell more effectively what the official called, because when the second player came in and made the tackle, that's when he blew the whistle. And then all the action continued. Now, regular speed will give you a better idea.
But I think, Charlie, what he got called for was the last shove. The whistle is blown. Stevens coming in, and that's what he gets called for right there. Now, Stevens is coming in on him. I think Conlon may have been defending himself. Right? That may be a little premature to flip the flag.
Penalties. Flip the flag. Penalties.
Flip the flag.
I like it. Buffalo 88 yards, New England 23. Knockdown. And he had Stevens open over the middle. And he is catching them amongst the linebackers. Art Still knocked it down.
Grogan's numbers are not great on the day, but you've got to admire Grogan. This is his 15th year. He really thought his career was finished. Went in for neck surgery in the off-season. Has a long neck anyway, and they were able to fuse C4 and C5. He has come back to play extremely well during this season.
Tipped and then dropped.
Eric Sievers, those are the hard ones to catch when that ball is bounced.
When we talked to Sievers yesterday, he said that he likes a wet towel to keep his hands a little tacky. He said, I don't like to use the gloves, but he's wearing the gloves today.
And you see the gloves on his hand. You know, when they outlawed the stickum, Charlie, the old stuff they called stickum, and it was like tar. It looked like a pine gum they put on their hands. These receivers are smart. They say, what else can I wear? They found gloves that have the stickum built right into the gloves. And they're adhering on them.
And you saw that little towel on the right hip of Sievers, and that's that little damp towel. That'll make the stickum even on the gloves better. Pass is complete at the 40-yard line. That is close to the first down marker. Now when they blow the whistle, all the players step away. That's the reason for that early whistle a moment ago. Cedric Jones in the flag. Kirby Jackson there. They're going to give it a good mark past the 40. It's a first down. Grogan's numbers are getting better.
Well, the one thing you know about Grogan and about Barry and about this New England team, they don't give up. And as bad as things look, as bleak as things look coming into this game, they have not only given us an exciting game, but if they can get this touchdown, they go ahead.
Eric Sievers. John Hagee was there for the defense.
Grogan saying, bring it right to the line. He wants the hurry-up offense here.
I lied. I thought it was the towel. It's the tail of his.
Well, he licks his hands if he's barehanded, Charlie. He may not have to with those gloves on.
Inside handoff to Stevens. Here he goes to the 20, inside the 10.
Stevens was trapped in the backfield, Charlie. And he's saying, take me out. Watch him. They catch him in the backfield. It's 96 Leonard Seal. Leonard Seal had him in the backfield, but couldn't get the hook on him. Some good blocking, and then he just breaks it loose and gets away. A second tackle right there he got away from. There is Seal right there. Let's see who else missed it. Well, couldn't quite. 3 tackles, 3 partial tackles. He's down on the 10, they say, huh?
Patrick Egu, he scored the first touchdown of his career on his first carry. This is his second carry. He must be a short yardage specialist. I'll only play inside the 10-yard line.
No, he comes out of there when Stevens is tired. And Stevens, we mentioned the injuries to Stevens this year. They have hurt Stevens' ability to maintain his conditioning. So he's not as strong physically as he was last year. So he came out of there after that long run.
And now Perryman comes in and Egu comes out. It must be that when we give you the ball and you don't score, you have to go sit down.
This will test that Buffalo defense. Here's where you find out what you're made of, Charlie.
Touchdown. Flag is down at the 15.
34, offense holding, 10-yard penalty.
These fans reacting in disbelief as Robert Perriman called for holding on that touchdown pass, and Grogan will have to try it from 10 yards back.
Second down goal to go back at the 16. This has been an elevator of emotions. Penthouse, sub-basement, penthouse, sub-basement. The Express.
Right now, only one thought for these New England fans. We need a touchdown.
And he misses Cedric Jones. That's the first bad pass he's really thrown in the second half. He wasn't on target that much in the first half. Second half has been outstanding.
He had tremendous pressure in the first half, Charlie. He was finding himself under heat. This offensive line has done a better job of protecting him in the second half. But of course, I think a great deal of that has come from the fact that John Stevens has continued to pound at that defense. And when you have to pay so much attention to the running game, you give that passer more time.
It's 3rd down and goal. Conversion's not a point here. Only 16 yards. Incomplete. Hartley Dykes, the intended receiver. You trail by 4. 3:10 left. Oh, this is a tough decision. You kick the field goal, give it up to your defense. Can you get in field goal range again?
Not an easy choice.
No.
It looks like they are going to try and kick the field goal. The reason, Charlie, last week they tried the onside kick and were successful the first time. They tried a second one, were almost successful with that. I think Raymond Berry is saying, let's take the sure points. Let's put the pressure on our defense. Maybe let's try the onside kick.
I like this choice. I like this choice.
If it were down on the 5-yard line, you might have seen another one.
That's different. 16 yards away. Well, that's a big gamble.
But they need the 3.
They got it.
They've got them.
First 34 yards away.
First time in his career that Jason Stravosky has kicked 3 field goals, Charlie.
From 34, 24, and 34 yards, they pull within 1 with 3:06 left to go. Now the question, the onside kick? I think it's too early for the onside kick.
There's time in this ball game. There's time in the ball game, Charlie, so you may not see it. Charlie, let's go back to that aborted touchdown. Here's Perriman right here, and the man he's going to hold right here. So watch the contact as the rush comes from the linebacker Talley on the outside. Perriman grabs him and locks him up right there. You can see the holding was a good call by the officials, well behind the quarterback. Chance for you at home to say, yes, it was indeed a holding call. Now the question, will they onside kick it? Well, they're gathering out there. Charlie, I'm not so sure. I might kick it away here and challenge him.
I would too at 3:06.
And you got your 3 timeouts left. You can kill the clock. It's just a question of how much confidence you have in your defense at this point.
Buffalo does not expect the onside kick. They don't have their all-hands team up.
There are the timeouts remaining.
And they go deep. Beebe bobbles it, and he picks it up. And he's at the 10, and he's in trouble, and now he says, hey, that's enough. That, by the way, is a very smart move. Patrick Egu, the touchdown scorer early on in this half, when he turned down, he said, I can't afford to do this. Put it down now. We'll take our loss. Let's not lose any more. Maybe a fumble, all of those things. Good decision.
Inexperience hurting Beebe in that situation, though, as I think the nerves got the better of him and dropped that football. This is a great opportunity for New England's defense, and let's see what the call is now. Do you come out and try and pound it on the ground? Do you let Kelly go upstairs? Most of their success has come in the air in the second half.
Kennebrew, the sole back. Intercepted! Touchdown, but a flag! A flag down at the 9.
Charlie, it's an offsides penalty against Buffalo, I think. The wide receiver at the top of the screen off early, and I don't think it's going to be a touchdown. It's going to be a touchdown. Buffalo's wide receiver at the top of the screen got off early, and Hurst takes it into the end zone.
17 yards away. His first touchdown coming off of an interception. Officially marked as 15 yards.
The second start of his career came in that earlier Buffalo game, and he was burned a couple of times. He's thrilled to be able to respond here. Raymond Berry, well, and you know who he's talking to over there? I believe that's Hartley Dykes. I think that's Hartley Dykes. If ever there was, no, it's not Hartley Dykes. It's Perriman. It's Robert Perriman. And Berry is saying to him, don't worry about that touchdown that came back.
As the Joker said to Batman, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And turned and said, you know what that means? It doesn't mean anything. I said, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound good if you're a New England fan right now. That was great anticipation by Hurst. He'll celebrate. You better believe that football will find its way into his trophy case. You think there's any emotion surging through him right now? You feel it in these stands. But of course, Charlie, there are 2 minutes and 49 seconds. We started the day by talking about this Buffalo Bill team being the new Minutemen of the NFL. They have put it on the board in the last minutes of this season. The challenge is here for them again.
Beebe and Harmon are deep. It's Beebe this time to the 20. Get it to 25.
Is that ball loose?
And he stumbled forwards to the 31-yard line.
I thought I saw the football, Charlie.
26 yards on the return.
We've got a player down. One of the Buffalo players on the ground.
That's
Beebe on the ground still. And they're holding him down.
And the other player's saying, stay down, don't move.
Beebe fighting to get to his feet, but he is really woozy. He took a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Dry saying, wait a sec, let's get some help over here. Charlie, let's go back. Raymond Berry described as a player's coach, and this is the reason. In a moment of triumph, when he could have been savoring things, he's thinking about the anguish that Perriman is going through at this moment because of that penalty that denied his team a touchdown. Now watch the smile come to Perriman's face. That's why these players love Raymond Berry.
Beebe's still a little woozy. First down, Buffalo at their own 31-yard line. Lots of time, 2:39. 30-24, Buffalo trail. Kelly's pass is complete, and he goes to Thurman Thomas. Gain of 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
We'll see the hurry-up offense here, Charlie. Buffalo will not waste any time. 2:21 on the clock. They have all their timeouts.
Back over the middle to Thomas again. Puts a move inside out. He's to the 40. And then out of bounds inside the 35 at the 33-yard line. 27 yards.
A smart call. They know that the New England Patriots have got to respect the deep speed here. They just dump it inside to their best ball carrier. Gets a good block there and uses his speed to break outside. Fegan's there to knock him out of bounds. Big pickup.
Inside handoff to Thomas.
Fegan's again.
Gain of a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. 2-minute warning given to both benches. We'll be back in just a moment.
How does a Ford Escort buyer differ from an import buyer? An Escort buyer gets more features for less money than Civic or Corolla buyers. Features like a bigger engine, remote power mirrors, speed control, tilt steering, and air conditioning, making an Escort buyer much cooler than an import buyer. No wonder Escort is the world's best-selling car.
See your dealer now for low financing or special savings on 1990 Ford Escort.
It's McRib time at McDonald's. Grilled pork and that sassy sauce. Add fries and a Coke and you're talking chomp, but only for a limited time. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. McRib chomp.
Maybe you can't avoid winter, but you can sail right through it in the Caribbean, Florida, or Hawaii. Let American Airlines take you where.
There's something special in the air.
If you were with us at the very beginning of the telecast and what we call the tease, and that's kind of a little set the scene for you, that we talked about the new Minutemen of the National Football League, the Buffalo Bills, because they seem to win ball games than the ones that they have to win in the closing seconds or in overtime.
There are fans back in Buffalo saying, I don't think we need to have it this exciting. Yeah. The challenge again laid out for them clearly here. That great play and the inspired play, I might add, by these New England Patriots with tremendous odds against them, with all of the injuries, all the difficulties. And Buffalo has not played a bad football game, have not been inspired in the way they played, but certainly have not played bad football. But here they are. Seconds clicking off. We're inside the 2-minute warning. Kelly has his offense on the field. He has the football. He has the opportunity. Now he has to do something with it.
And if you're an offensive player, that's what you want.
That's all you want, Charlie. That's what the game is all. This is what the game is all about.
Right. All right, let's go back down to the field. Thurman Thomas, 78 yards rushing, 87 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns, 1 each way. Here's the screen, and it is dropped incomplete. It was to Thomas.
Tremendous pressure by Vincent Brown, blitzing from the left side, forced Kelly to throw that football before the play developed. Going to be a little screen off to the right. Watch number 59 coming in right there, and you see Kelly just had to unload that ball a little too quick, and he couldn't quite get it to the dependable hands of Thurman Thomas.
3rd down and 8, 1:55 left in the ball game.
Big 3rd down, but this is 4-down territory, Charlie. You don't do anything but try and get it into the end zone, and 2 downs to get it.
Kelly's pass for 353 yards. Incomplete. The opening tease, we talked about it. Let's show it to you. Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills have become the new Minutemen of the NFL. Week 1, with no time on the clock, Kelly scores the winning touchdown. Week 3, with the regulation clock expired, Kelly in overtime hits Andre Reed with the winning touchdown. Week 6, as the clock runs out, and with Frank Reich at quarterback, that's the idea. It is 4th down and 8. Fumble, but it's 4th down.
It's all over.
Rimbert with a stiff arm. Grabs a hold of it and falls down. 1:35, time remaining. New England has the ball and the lead.
It looked for a moment that Kelly might be able to find enough time to find the receiver. Kelly will step forward here, gets away from the rush right there on the backside. Still can't find a receiver. Looks again. That's number 59, Vincent Brown again. And finally, Brent Williams, number 96, plows into them from the backside, knocks the ball free, and Rembert picks it up. And another turnover for the New England defense. Well, Kelly and the Minutemen are going to have to wait for another Sunday, Charlie.
27 yards on the fumble recovery, the score, and the time remaining.
The final part of that tease asked the question, is time ticking out on Raymond Berry? Well, he's answered those critics today.
And here is Stevens. He breaks the tackle. He's to the 30. To the 20-yard line. 21 yards. 1st down. Timeout with 1:21 left in the ballgame.
Charlie, there are a few fans who left the stadium earlier when the Buffalo Bills had surged ahead. I'm sure there are a few of them sitting out in their cars. A few of them have come back into the stands. We actually have more people here in the stands now than we did just a short time ago.
Yeah, that's right. This is a late arriving crowd, you might say.
Well, they're certainly enthusiastic,
yes,
and reason to be so, because we talked about the problems that the Patriots have faced this week. They have had a difficult season, to say the least. They have responded with great passion today. And right now, it looks like they're going to walk away with a victory.
First down. Here's Stevens. He's just working on the clock a little. Miami came from behind to defeat Dallas. And so you're looking at a Miami-Buffalo tie for the lead in the East. You said at the top of the telecast that one of the keys was John Stevens, that he had to have a great ball game. Well, he's been worth 208 total yards thus far, 76 receiving and 132 rushing. You can't ask for much more.
No, you can't, Charlie. The other thing I said, and Marv Levy, I think, would agree, that these are the toughest games to get a team ready for. You've been playing well. Your opponent is hurt. They have not been playing that well. And it's proven to be the case today.
1:13, time remaining.
But more than anything else, I'd say this is not a game that the Bills have lost. I think it's been taken away from them by the aggressive play. Look at the comparison. Two great running backs having great days. We'll give you that again to show it to you. It's worth looking at again.
And Robert Perryman, the ball carrier. And Buffalo will stop the clock with 1:05 left in the ball game.
Look at those numbers, and Thomas's numbers, if you throw in his rushing yardage, he's well over 150 yards on these. Stevens has also cut a couple of passes today. So two sophomore backs who have strutted their stuff on this field today.
And the Budweiser most valuable player? Well, it's John Stevens of New England. We gave you those numbers just a moment ago. 208 total yards, rushing and receiving, and Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all of the MVPs selected in today's games. 1 minute and 5 seconds left.
Charlie, I think if I were sitting back in Buffalo and I had left the set thinking that this was going to be a Buffalo win and came back into the room and said, "Are you sure that's the right score up there?" This has been an extremely unusual football game, to say the least.
Robert Perryman to the 20-yard line. In total yards, Stevens 208 yards and Thurman Thomas 165, the numbers that you were talking about.
Not a bad day. Not a bad day.
And the Buffalo Bills are out of timeouts.
When the New England Patriots as a staff and as a team sit down, Charlie, they're going to have a lot of things to celebrate. But I think the thing that has helped them more than anything today is that they have done this as a team. They've had contributions. They've had their obstacles to overcome in this game. There's a gentleman on the left, Hartley Dykes, I imagine, who has grown a great deal in this ball game. We talk about roller coaster emotion.
Yes.
Boy, he has been up and down and sideways today. And the clock ticking down.
Now they're taking the delay as the 30-second clock or the 45-second clock ran out, and there's 18 seconds on the game clock. You'll have to go one more snap.
Mark Wilson has gone on the field to take the final snap.
Now Grogan comes back out. Grogan comes back out, and Wilson says, "No, you're to go back out."
Well, Wilson says, "I'll take it. It's all right, Steve. You ought to take a little applause." Yes. And he should. Grogan has had a fine game. Numbers not as impressive as some he's thrown.
Starowski is in. Are we going a field goal attempt?
Sure enough. Sure enough. Yeah. No wonder Wilson is out there. He's the holder. Well, and the points. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either, Charlie. But
why not?
They got 3 more.
From 37 yards away, Starowski 4 field goals. And it's 33-24, but there are 13 seconds left. Now you've got to kick off. You have opened the door for a tie and overtime. No, you're not. I read the numbers wrong. I'm sorry, I read the numbers wrong.
Not unless you can get a huge extra point.
I'm sorry. I read the numbers wrong. Come on. I'm trying to add them up the wrong way. My mistake.
If it was the other way.
I'm still amazed by that.
Yeah, well.
But
that must be the new math.
It's all that new math. It's always confused me. 33-24.
I guess, Charlie, what he was hoping. Well, I'm not going to second guess Raymond Berry. It's Raymond's day.
If you're winning and you're going to go for it and you win all the rest of them, maybe a point differential would make the difference.
Raymond Berry said last week his team had to win 11 straight to win the Super Bowl. We said we have to win 7 straight to get into the playoffs. They lost that game. He told his team on Monday that they were out of it, that they had to accept the role of the spoiler. Well, they certainly have jumped into that role well today.
Oh, they really have. They have spoiled. And this is just to kind of break up any kind of a return.
Quick roll, number 87, reserve tight end with the ball.
The clock stopped with the change of possession of the kickoff.
One of the new active players on this team, Patrick Eagle, with a touchdown earlier in this day. Charlie, might be worth going back to what Marv Levy said about great teams, that they have to be able to win on the road and win the games that they are expected to win. I'm sure that he'll remind his team of that on the way home today, and that they have not passed that test here today. This is a team that still is expected to make the playoffs, and an excellent team at that. But they still have some more growing to do.
And it is intercepted by Roland James. And James starts to celebrate as he gets to the sideline. You got to believe, and if you're a New England Patriot and you see the score, you believe that you won, and you may have pulled off the upset of the year with all of the injuries that the Patriots have had and 2 more players going down this week.
Incredible heat on Raymond Berry during this week. He's ignored it. He stayed with his players. He believes in them. They believe in him. They brought it home today.
Now stay tuned for the second game of our doubleheader, the Seahawks and the Giants, following these messages from your local station.